Hello. Alright, what was the last day? It was the 7th. I love when the weeks line up with, in order of 7, so that I could just be like, oh yes, 7, 14, 21, etc. Let's see, there's a lot that happened. I'll say that, there is a lot that happened. Did my thing actually ping everyone? What? We're sorry we're no longer able to offer this service for free? What? Look in the Freya's content channel. Bro, you ping- you did it twice, and then you're charging me? What? Okay. Well, that sucks. I guess I gotta do it manually then. Yeah, it wasn't even Twitch. It's freaking whatever it's called, Twitch announcer. Okay. Whatever. Also, what do you think of my new starting screen? I'm gonna make it animated. I plan on making it animated, but I want to add more things to it. I've added, there's like stickers for the Peacekeepers, there's little eyes for like Okul reference, there's the Schlammin, there's beef, there's the moon. Oh boy. If you want like a reference to, you know, your character or something, let me know what it should be. Preferably not in chat, because I can't write it down right now. We're screaming today. The chair. Oh, like the electric chair. I'm not sure how I could incorporate that. A fox? Yeah, I could do a fox. Like a little fox plushie. Or like a little bobblehead. Why are we screaming? Did something happen today? That I'm not aware of? Also, hello, Light. Light is in here.
I didn't know if I should talk. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, you can't. You definitely can.
Okay.
Add something on the headphones. That's a good idea. I just made them look like my headphones. But, yeah, I could...
Hi, Atlas. Hi, Aspen. Hello. I see you too. In chat.
You're very easy to frighten. Boo! Waiting for the stream delay.
Like, don't murder arrows. Don't spoil LOL, that hasn't happened yet, Atlas. Jesus.
I used to have cat ear headphones. I had the classic pink streamer headphones with the cat ears, the Raisin Kraken Kitty headphones. And then they finally gave up on me after like 4 years.
Quite a long time for headphones.
Yeah, especially for Razer headphones. Like, they lived a good life. Oh my gosh, what is going on, dude? What is going on? Hold on. I'm gonna switch to plain camera for a second. My headphones, speaking of headphones, are asking me if I'm located in the EU. If so, my max volume will be restricted. If I'm British, I can't listen to loud things, I guess. I'm just gonna say no. I mean, okay, you're all set. Good luck, have fun. Thanks. The EU actually has consumer protection laws. I feel like, I mean, like, I get that, like, Oh wow, my thing had a whole update, I think. Interesting. Software update for my headphones. I get like trying to protect people's ears or whatever. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm too American for this. Ah, it actually made my volume louder after that update. It's like if you're American, you're just gonna lose your hearing, I guess.
Oh
Okay, I can't remember where I read up to last time. Because I think we watched Frog's video. I
Yeah,
think that
we
was the end of
no.
it.
Ended on Frog's video.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Oh, what's the code on the back of it? Yes, it is Marcelo's jacket. I'll explain what everything is. So let me give myself a little arrow. Hold on. Let me just look up arrow. Here's an arrow. Okay. That's Marcelo. That's Freya. This is the time bubble to represent, you know, Cypher's whole story from that season. And this is what's left of Eclipse after Freya exploded her. We have the Peacekeepers. There's Waters. The jug for Waters. Book for Comet. Flower for Zinnia. Compass for Cam, and then Water Droplet for Mira, both representing that she's got water powers and that she's crying. It's so sad because Marcelo is gone. And then we got Marcelo's jacket right here. This is me. This is Beef, me and Virgil's cat. This is the view outside of the resource center. I can actually change the background, but I gotta like fix the lighting for each version. This is a horse for the pure spirits. This is the Luminous Order. Like star for it, and then we have Theria, a crow. Over here we have the moon. These are the eyes from the House of Ocular Enlightenment to represent Okul, one of my favorite characters of all time on the SMP. We got the Schlamid down here. We have the Soul Pact Union flag, and the I was trying to make a flag for Solace, but it ended up just being the Solace Relief Group thing. But it's like unofficial flag of Solace. So that is, just gonna, yeah. That's what I have so far. If you have any ideas, I'm gonna put something on like the iPad that I'm drawing. I'm gonna make my hand move like I'm drawing. I'm gonna make things fly in the breeze, all of that. Yeah, let me put any ideas that you have in the, what would be the easiest? Honestly, put it in the Art for BRB screen channel. I know that sounds like odd because it's usually just for art, but this is, you know, in a similar vein. Just put any ideas that you have if you want to doodle it. If you want to like take a screenshot of this and put where you would want the thing to go. Can be your character, can be someone else's, can be anything. I can't guarantee I can put all of them. I won't guarantee that I'll put all of them because some of them, you know, it has to be stuff that like I understand. If it's just like, you know, inside joke between your friends, I probably wouldn't understand it. But yeah, small stuff that would go on a desk or hang from a ceiling or be on the wall, stuff like that. I'll probably change it out as time goes on too. I'm on the end server, the end event server. Oh! Can people go into the end event server still? That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still open.
Well, I guess, you know, I can leave it open for a little bit longer. The Navy is bees? Question mark? A pride flag with Marcello on it? Italian pride. Add the Estonia flag? That'd be kind of funny. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Ignore how rough I look right now. I have been doing art fight music stuff all day. I finished 2 songs. That sounds like it's not a lot, but it takes me a good few hours to finish each one, so I got 2 down. Let me actually... If you guys want to hear a little piece of them, turn off my display capture for a minute here.
Woo, baby! That's what it's all about. Woo!
Here's one of them. It's for a little racing cat. Race car driver cat.
It's time to...
Skipping through it. The beginning reminds me of Abracadabra. I could see it. Like a fighting, it feels like a game OST. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my whole... I make game music. That's what I've done for, like, forever. Fun fact, actually, there's a game coming out that I made the OST to. It's on Steam. I don't know if there's even a demo out yet. Shoot, what's it called? I actually don't remember. Hold on. Let me look it up. Underworld. Turn my display back on. This is planned release date 2026. I haven't heard any other news about it, but the music for the little intro thing here was me. It's a co-op roguelike FPS. I worked on it for like 2 years. Doing the music. I will probably have to do more. How much would y'all pay for a small keychain of a cat wearing a frog hat? Yeah, probably $8 to $10. I mean, if it's like this big, yeah, probably like $8 to $10. You could probably get away with 15. Anyway, there's that was the Underworld thing. Okay, wait. The second thing that I made was this is for like a deity figure. Like a royal ball. Yeah, that's what I went for. Kind of like regal, you know. $200,000 for a keychain. It's a little cheap. It's distorted. It's probably just because it's too loud. Anyway, this is a reminder that if any of you want music for your lore, for stuff in game, we have like the voice proximity chat. You can add speakers with any song on there. If you need a song, it's free. If it's for the SMP, you make it for your lore, your videos, your whatever the heck, it's free. Just DM me or ping me. I got you. And any of the music that you want to use, this is all free to use and copyright free as well. And all the music that I have on Spotify, let me find myself. All of my music on Spotify that is instrumental. So my Reckonite albums, Copper and Cacophony are also like DMCA. I think they're DMCA free. You should not get demonetized for it anymore because I set it up so I don't get any money from YouTube or TikTok, I think. So yeah, if you want to use that music, you also can. It's not gonna strike you or anything. My God, that's so cute. Pride flag with PNG, of course. Which, just like a full pride flag or like a specific one? I'd more likely put him on the Italian flag. It'd be kind of funny if it was like a bunch of pride flags display and then there's Italian with Marcello on it. Is he like bisexual or anything? I don't think so, no.
I don't know if you saw it, but DJ said that they had put their hand up for a Kindergram song a while ago.
Wait, really?
And, yeah. Yeah. CJ was one of the first to ask for a song.
Did I never make it?
I think you were working on it for a bit.
Oh my God, you're right. I'm like halfway through it and I never finished it. Oh my God. I'm gonna do that tonight. I will finish that tonight. Hey Siri, remind me at 7 p.m. tonight to finish the Kindlegrim song.
Okay, I added finish the Kindlegrim song for this evening.
Okay. I'm so sorry. That's the problem. You get it for free, but you have to deal with me who has the memory of a goldfish. Okay. We are going to continue with the actual Lord Tuesday. Sorry, like 15 minutes into what we were doing. From Arrow. If the dead can come back here, I don't want to see her again.
We do have lore sheets.
Oh, lore sheets. We should do that first. You're right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm kind of out of it.
Yeah.
Light is here to keep me on track, though.
Yeah. On Violet.
Violet.
She posted, yeah.
Thank you. Oh, there's Morse code in here. Anyone want to figure out what the Morse code is? It's ... which is S. ... I don't know what that is. And just single dot is A, right? No. I actually don't know Morse code. There's a lot of Morse code. There's Morse code in here, too. The Wanderer, Violet. Though she isn't sure where she came from, she knows that Solace is her last hope for escape from her origins. She knows something is tracking her down. Because of this, she's found it hard to trust anyone for fear they are involved with them. As soon as she remembers who they are, she will rally an army and maybe she'll finally be free. I don't remember fully why I'm running or why I'm so terrified, but I'm happy to have found somewhere to call home. Well, not home, I suppose, but it's somewhere to hide. Maybe I can make friends here. I need to be careful. I'm really curious about the Morse code. You heard horse code? That's so horse coded. There's like eyes in the corner. It's so freaky. Okay. Someone pull up a Morse code translator right now. And I'll read it out to you so you can type it. You're on it? All right. You got 15 seconds to open it up. Maybe less than that because I don't have a timer up.
Welcome, Truffle.
Hello.
Ah! Hi. Because I have streamer mode on, I don't hear the notifications of people joining. It's horse code? All right. Alice has got it. All right. Dash, ... dash, ... dash. That's the first word. ... dash, ... ... dot dash dot dot. That's the second word. Dot dot dash dot 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 dash dot dash dot dot. That's the third word. Dot 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 dash dot dash dash dot dot dash dash. That's that word. Dot dash dash dot dash dot 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 dash dash dot 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 dash dot 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 dash dot 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 dash dot dash dash dot 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 dash dot dash dot dash.
Hi, Lucky.
Oh, hi, Lucky. I hope I didn't go too
Lucky.
fast. I'm sure someone's gonna clip that and just like Freya going insane. Just me saying dot over and over. No dash. Just dot 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 dot. And we've got
Sorry, I was real quick wondering if you could stream like the thing, since the stream delay is pretty bad and it's just kind
yeah.
of.
I got you.
Thank you.
Let's see if I can get it out of the way, maybe. Well, it's just gonna be there. That's fine. You're halfway there? Oh. Okay, does someone else want to get the next one? I'll just put the next one in my own thing here. I got it. And then we'll find them both out at once. Code translator. She is not what she seems. Is the second one. Okay. Alright, we'll find out the rest once Alice is done, but let's move on to Anthracite. Their name is Anthracite. I heard you should pick a name of real things for names for yourself, so I picked a rock. My old name was... I'll remember later. History. Oh, well, I've been looking for someone for a... It's been a very long time, and I know they came here now. I just have to find out who I'm looking for, since I keep forgetting things whenever I lose some of myself. And this hair is so you don't see my head fall off. Oh, that's great. Or so I don't see. No idea. But I can tell you I will find them. In the meantime, I'll hang out with my new friend who feels bad for me for some reason. Oh, I don't know if you should consider them a friend then. Very creepy. There's so much, I mean, this is common with the SMP. There's so many... The winds of amnesia hit all of us equally.
Yeah, very much so.
Ooh! This one's from Lucky. Lucky, did you want to read this one? Oh, wait, is Lucky in this voice call? Or were you just saying?
Yeah, Lucky's here.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, Lucky's here. Lucky's just on mute.
Like, I did want to... Okay, for some reason, I'm getting echo, so I'm gonna try to go fix that.
Uh-oh.
You're not getting echo anymore.
What if I say something really loud? Test!
No, what's going on is, like, on my side. I'm getting...
Oh.
It's on my side.
No, that's me. It's because I'm sharing my stream audio. Sorry.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I turned that off now. It should be fixed. My bad. Okay. Elwyn
Okay.
Blackwood. Oh. Did you get it? Oh no, that's Aspen on Atlas. My bad. Okay. A soldier for her kingdom, sent on a mission to capture and or get rid of Professor Rosethorn. After the anomaly, she decided to dedicate her life to finishing this mission for her kingdom and people. Unfortunately, tracking down the professor has not been as easy as she presumed, and for now it has led her to Solace. The armor design is sick, by the way. It's so hard to draw armor. You killed it. Really cool.
Oh.
Oh, it
Nervous.
says
So nervous.
the Morse code says they will find her and she will vanish. That is ominous. And then the second one was she's not what she seems. I wonder. The Wanderer Violet is not what she seems. Interesting. I'm sorry if this is really bad. I had this character for a while, so I tried to just put this original lore, but adding in the SMP lore, that's fine. You're totally fine. We love all lore here. Everyone starts somewhere. I'm sure it's not that bad. The first thing I see is he's very not a twink, aka buff. Okay. Jason Bronzestar Morgan, a man with a wife and kid. He had them. Will had them. He's a farmer and a hunter, but didn't have the best life before he met his wife and kid. But they didn't make to escape the great anomaly. So he's pretty mad about it since he didn't know what happened to his family and why he decided to join Solace, because he has nowhere to go. To others, he might seem grumpy and rude, or just an asshole in general. He doesn't really believe in any religion, but won't speak badly about it, just won't engage on the topic. He really wants to find out what happened to his family. If they were alive or not, he would die for them and them only. So I don't recommend being a jerk about them, or you may be punched or go on his kill list. Not literally. I don't know about that. He's pretty chill if you were chill with him. He came from Earth and is human. Yes, I'm being basic for this. About why is he called Bronze Star? Don't worry about it for now. You'll find out later. We have a lot of humans from Earth specifically this season. Not a bad thing. Hi, Mika. All right, Minnie. Awesome. Nicknamed the Termite. Different Minnie Struck. Okay. Planet of origin Orbis Stexo. Originally named Texurmundum. Was the third in a group of 12 bioengineered sentient probes sent out to terraform a planet for the creation of materials using magic and machines. When the great anomaly happened, the people taking care of his cryopod disappeared, and he later woke up from it going into failure. Interesting. So last season was another one of the 12? Since this is a different mini-stroke? We have Waters. What a beautiful lore sheet. I mean, I wouldn't expect any less from Myth. All right. The director of SUNC, Solace's own planet weather science facility. When the SUNC facility was destroyed, Waters went missing and was presumed dead at the memorial for victims of the crash. This missing status changed when Akarani entered the Solace relief area with a shot to the head, setting off the search of her cabins, where Waters was found to be in one of them this whole time. From Rando. Nephilidae. I'm Arane. Nickname is Neff. Arane? Arane?
I think it's Arane.
Arane? Okay, thank you. Background. He was one of the many interesting / skill figures kept by Magos. Kept by Magos? Is this like the creature in the basement? Or
I think it's those who were frozen on his ship.
oh, interesting. He was freed by the crash. Oh. Now he works in the city of the Hollow Valley as the branch head of the resource production and collection. All right. Did Bagel just correct you? What? Wait, oh,
I
what?
think so. Fine.
Oh, instead of NY by... Okay, Bagel. The background? What about the background? This? I'm scared. Oh, that's where the typo. Oh, I see. I thought you were telling me something was in the background. I was kind of scared. All right, already saw this. Relief. The necessary understanding of vital services. A staggered walk. It's not impossible to control the weight upon each limb to better the gait, but such is unnecessary at the moment. It is easier and in some ways quicker. It gets the first person who spots to rush towards her, to loop an arm for her. The person is smaller than her, by a lot, but they shout and holler in a way so much larger. Someone, get a medical team unit over here, she calls, stumbling to help them both move further. Akarani feels a touch bad for her. The weight to her is probably like a dead log. Ha, jokes. There are footsteps in motion from a great distance, heavy boots and shouts, militaristic, familiar. Ah, the Soul Pact. It's been a while since she's been in the presence of those lot. I think this is unrelated, but, well, I don't know, whatever. Everyone calls the Soul Pact Navy the Soul Pact instead of the Navy. And it's fine, you can call them that. But it's kind of like saying, like what's, like the Soul Pact is the Navy that they, like, it's like saying the United States Navy, but just calling them the United States, you know? Anyway, there are many navies. But everyone calls them the Soul Pact. But we live in the Soul Pact. Solace is in the Soul Pact. Well, it's on the rim of the Soul Pact Union. But it's like saying, the United States. That's fair. Akarani's not from this galaxy, so that makes sense. I don't pay no Soul Pact taxes. Well, because you don't live in the core. I don't actually know if they have... Do they have taxes? I think everything is, like, basically solved. There's no... Like, everyone's... Well, unless you're on the rim. Then you're kind of cooked. Tricle, you're from Earth! You're from Earth! If you lived there, I don't know if they have taxes, but you probably paid Earth taxes. You think I paid taxes there? Alright. The United States. Okay. It's been a while since she's seen the presence of those lot, though never intentionally like this. There's other people too. She can feel them to her left somewhere, closer distance. They're muttering, moving around. Someone screams. Someone points and another runs. It's a large mess, really. If she recalls correctly, that's the direction of the market. Civilians, residents. How would the people who arrive in Solace call themselves? That's a good point. Something I haven't really thought of myself. Hey, can you hear me? The small human to her right speaks, still nearly as loud as before, perhaps not realizing her own volume, considering the chaotic nature of circumstances. Very much so, yes. Akarani considers her words and decides not to add the verbal note of volume. It would be rude. The movement forward has slowed. There's an incline in the hill. Though she can't see it, she imagines that her helper is currently assessing how to get them both up it. In the small of her mind, she considers breaking off and walking up it herself. Then those previous running footfalls land by them. Akarani turns his head towards them, watches the way the air vibrates with the huffing. Sorry, if my reading is off today, I feel it too. I've been like really groggy all day for no reason, which is why I have the others in VC with me today. We will take turns reading. Football! Random question, I kind of thought there was a barrier between the Milky Way and other galaxies. Okay. Nerd Freya moment. Nerd about Virgil's universe real quick. So, in the canon of the Soul Pact Union universe, which is separate from Solace, because I didn't know any of this stuff when I first made Solace stuff. There's no way to get to the center of the galaxy or outside of the Milky Way galaxy. People have tried, it just, it doesn't, you can't go. And we've learned about that later in Virgil's RPG, but it's a little complicated, so I won't get into it here. But, there's a lot of stuff in the canon of the Soul Pack Union that was kind of just pushed aside. That didn't exist anymore in the Solace universe because you have to be able to get out of the Milky Way galaxy, and there's a lot of other stuff, like, well, okay, the Great Anomaly probably took care of the Prophet of Malice, if I'm being honest. It definitely took care of the pirates. Antoine Dechant, leader of all of the space pirates, died in the Great Anomaly. Yippee! Also, fun fact, Friedrich was just a fleet admiral, one of the most powerful people in the Soul Pack Navy. But because of the Great Anomaly, she's now the Grand Admiral of the Navy. She's in charge of everything. Powerful woman. I love her. But yeah. Technically, so Solace stuff is like very separate. Messes up a lot of things in Virgil's universe. Yeah, there's no barrier anymore. Okay. There's a movement to her right as the woman adjusts her hold in a way that noticeably puts her instead of Akarani a little closer to this arrival. Not Soul Pact personnel, then. Motion as hands raised, a placating gesture. I'm a medic. Can I see her? Please. Slower sets of footfall. I keep reading it as football. Slower sets of footfall follow the medic, but they stay quiet, keep some distance. Tall, like her, but with movement sound distinctly metallic. If her initial helper has noticed that other, she hasn't let it on. She holds them steady, then she sighs with the weight of deciding that she can't do this alone. All right, okay, here, she says. The tone finally returned to a normal level of volume. This is good for her, Akarani thinks. She'll be okay. Take care of her. I will, thank you. Then there's the weight of feeling physically handed off. An even smaller person, a much stronger person. It takes her by surprise, but they're already moving, up the hill and past the human woman. She's quick, this one, winged with an unusual gait. What planet does she come from? We're going to find a place to sit down, okay? So I can look at those injuries, the winged medic says, her voice free of the early nerves. Professional. That sounds fine to me, Akarani starts in return, walking easily with the improved stabilization. But there's only the one. I believe you can tell what it is by visual. Silence meets her words. It's true. Akarani does know exactly what injury has occurred to her. She knows what it might look like. She knows why some screamed at the sight of her. However, without the ability of sight herself, she does not know how bad it actually appears. Perhaps it was a bite of humor taken too early for a coping mind. I will still need to look you over, just in case, the medic finally replies. I understand. They move, a tiny collective, around the large tent, then past a smaller one. There's a landing pad there. Akarani knows it sits at the center of the Solace Relief Group's area. The emergency medical tent wouldn't be far from it, neither would the Navy, and she hears those boots again to indicate that approach. There's a small grouping of other soldiers by one of the smaller tents, talking about the call for medical, asking if anyone had found who called yet. One soldier on foot, in active motion, takes a stop in front of them. He looks at them. The medic slows to a stop in front of him. Akarani drops her head lower. You called for medical? He asks, approaching closer. No, not me. A lady over by the bridge called, and I went to help. This woman here is who she was with. She needs help. Do you know what happened? He asks, stepping to the side to let them continue moving towards the platform. There's motion as he snaps the attention of the group in the distance and gestures to indicate towards the medic. I don't. She hasn't said yet. The medic, oh so kind as she is, does not know the proper of these things. I will speak to a ranking officer about it, whichever one is nearest. Akarani cuts her words off loud and final, letting herself be sat down on the platform. The soldier seems surprised, but he nods in understanding. Understood, ma'am. Then he sets his stance properly and steps away. She listens to his footsteps depart, to the racket of the medical equipment being prepared. The soldier is definitely going towards them, informing them everything he knows, which probably doesn't yet include the injury which she tucked away from his sight. They'll know she's speaking, moving. That should reduce some of the more panicked life-saving actions. She doesn't really require those. Are you part of the Navy? The medic asks, dropping a bag off of her shoulder to look through it for medical supplies. Not really, no. There's footsteps from a distance somewhere behind where they sit, but they're fast. Then they leave the ground. Then there's something like fire. Akarani raises her as if to sense it better, but it's It's over but it's too quick. There's a small thud and the brushing motion of clothes as someone new pushes over. Know them? Light, hello, do you know what's going on? I heard something about someone being injured. Is that... The inevitable eyes finding her, or more aptly, finding the 22mm hole in the center of her forehead. Gunshot. The gunshot, straight through. The splintered and scorched wood around it. Oh, the vacant nothing of solid wood inside. I feel like I'm reading this entirely wrong. I'm so sorry. Oh, the vacant nothing of solid wood inside. It's a strange thing, making a body that looks human, but not making it a medically accurate model. In part, a shame, though it would have been more effective to carve, and more of a loss artistically in a case much like this one. It'll take so long to repair this damage. Whoa. A hesitant hand approaches. Akarani probably stares at it. Then she adjusts the glasses on her face and tilts her head forward. Then the unfamiliar hands touch her face. She feels them test the grain of her carved features. Solid, real. Then move to the impact wound. Does it hurt at all? She asks, fascination lining her tone. No, I don't have pain receptors, Akarani answers easily, leaning away from the hands after determining proper inspection has been achieved. Really? Adolin, please. Adolin turns to the medic, light, and for a moment there is silence, long enough that Akarani notices it. It could very likely be one of those visual conversations she's read about, though she passes her own false eyes between them. She cannot pick up on it, so instead she passes her environmental observations to the direction Aelin came from. The resource center. The mailboxes are there, if she recalls correctly. There are also another pair of eyes watching them from there, keeping their distance like Light's companion, who seems to have disappeared at some point. There's a sigh and Aelin steps back. I just wanted to see if I could help, she says, and Akarani gets the feeling she's missing something. I'll leave you to it then. With that, Aelin is walking away. Then the fire emerges again, and she's flying away. Overall, leaving rather expeditiously. She escapes Akarani's senses in no time at all. Confused, Akarani turns to Light again, but the nurse is silent, tense in some small way more than before. There are motions to self-soothe some kind of unease that Akarani lacks the prior context for. Something happened between them at some point, something that didn't happen on the record of Light's career at SUNC. Fascinating. She didn't make the connection before, but yes, this is that Light. There's a sigh and Light sets down the roll of gauze she was picking on. She sits down next to Akarani and the roll, picking it up again when she's settled. So, I guess you don't need this, then? She asks, gesturing the roll towards Akarani. Akarani looks at her, then sets her hand on the gauze to get a feel for it. She thinks about it. It would be nice to have something to cover up the wound so that it doesn't freak the humans out until she can get back home to carve a filler and mend it. She starts, taking her hand away from Light. Miss Akarani Dekatu? I hope I said that right. Surprised at hearing her own name, she turns. It's the soldier from before. He's carrying a clipboard that she realizes likely has her documents of signing up for the relief efforts on it. It didn't take them long at all to find her in their system again, but then again, there aren't a lot of other official recent arrivals. Yes, she replies, sitting up properly. Close? How's it? Well, I don't know if you could spell it out phonetically. Decato? Decato? There's a beat of silence. Then she realizes. Oh, don't worry, it's just cosmetic, she adds, setting her hand over the wound with a smile. Okay. As I was saying, the medics are ready whenever you are. The nearest ranking officer has been notified, a lieutenant. They're on their way now, he says, handing her the clipboard. Technically, it would be a datapad. But clipboards work too. Sorry, I'm being picky for no reason. Akarani makes a show, flipping through the contents of the pages pinned into the clip. From first touch, it seems to be mostly a medical inquiry and incident reports for her to fill out. Myth messed up. No, there's no messing up. There's no messing up in lore. It's fine. The only thing that you can mess up on is if you write someone else's character without talking to them about it. Toe. Deca toe? Toe? Deca toe? She snaps the pages down and nods at the clipboard. That will do perfectly, thank you, she says. Then she stands, much to Light's surprise and concern. The young woman is as if she's about to catch her falling. It was nice talking to you, Light, she says resolutely, with a smile and a tilt of her head. Then she turns to the soldier and holds out a hand. If you could guide me there, please. As you can see, I may have lost some of my center of gravity. Incredible. And then that starts it all, doesn't it? All right, next document. Oh,
Woo! Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
That's what I've been
baby.
waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
who wants to take the next document? Let me open this up.
I'll take it.
Okay, Light will take the next one. I'll read any of the other in-between stuff because it's kind of hard to get through that. All right. CJ, why is he taking the blame again? We have some art
Aw.
of Croy. Oh, it's Croy getting yelled at by everyone. Oh,
Oh.
how dare she? Why isn't he arguing back? No. All right. A flower and a raven. It's all you, Light.
Obsivi wandered the empty streets of the spawn town. Dry soil crunched under her shoes as she tread down the dirt road. The flames of the lanterns lining the path flickered in their cases. The normally bustling visage Obsivi had seen from atop the mountain was now silent with the night. She looked around at the darkened windows of the buildings surrounding her. This was stupid. Obsivi sighed as she stood in the middle of an empty street. Not a single person in sight. Hey! Coming this late at night was a dumb decision. Who would be awake at this time anyways? Hey! What made Obsivi think coming here this late would be a good idea? Maybe she had just grown accustomed to talking at night. Perhaps she could just come back some other time. Hey! Obsivi's head snapped up from being lost in thought. In the distance, she could make out a figure running towards her with a sheet of paper above their head. By the time they got to Obsivi, they were panting, out of breath, wheezing as they stepped forward. Obsivi looked at the one in front of her. It was a girl. She was shorter than herself. Her short brown hair was a mess from running. The oversized sweater she wore probably didn't help with recovering from her sprint. Have you seen this person? The girl panted, holding up the paper for Obsivi to see. On it was a crudely drawn stick figure that appeared to be with what appeared to be a water jug on its head. I don't believe I have. Ah, well, that's okay. The girl breathed out before fully standing up. Well, how are you? She trailed off as she looked up towards Obsivi. Her face moved from confusion to unease, as though something about what she was looking at wasn't making sense. Ah, sorry, Obsivi apologized, looking away. The feeling settled eventually. The girl stared at Obsivi for a little longer, her eyes jumping around as though looking for what wasn't quite right. Whatever, she shrugged before smiling at Obsivi. I don't think I've seen you around here before. I live away on a mountain top. Oh, Well, what brings you here? I promised a friend I'd come see the town. I see, the ghost said, nodding along. Well, you're always welcome to come around any time. Obsidian looked at as the girl smiled, like there was not a single problem in the world. Something about it felt almost nostalgic, but she couldn't quite place her finger on why. Oh, I almost forgot. She held her hand out to Psivi. I'm Zinnia. What's your name? Psivi stared at the hand that had been extended to her, a hand fully reaching out to her. She felt fingers wrapped around her limbs, finger after finger, palm after palm, countless number of hands grasping at Psivi as though asking for help, clawing into her hand, the one that never made it. How many? How many have reached their hands out? How many had she left behind? How many had she let be dragged away? How many? Hey, are you alright? Was it Obsidi's vision cleared as Zinnia looked at Obsivi, her expression full of concern, but also welcoming. Her hand was still held forward, offering. This really did feel familiar. Maybe. Obsivi stepped forward as she took Zinnia's hand, shaking it lightly. I'm Obsivi. Oh, you're Obsivi? Zinnia asked excitedly. Come and talk a lot about you. Zinnia soon unleashed a torrent of questions. When did you arrive on Solus? How long have you known Comet? What's with your halo? Obsivi walked along the road as Zinnia followed. Maybe she could try one more time.
Oh, I just realized I was muted.
Yeah.
Ah! That's the noise that I made. Anyone want to grab the next one?
We could try.
All right.
Right. Let me go onto it real quick. I'm reading it off my phone, so it might take me a second.
All right.
Please open. There we go. Okay.
Elowen's mission journal.
Status recruit. Day 23. Purpose theft. Days it took to finish. 1. Sentence prison. Name blank. Note. Been a hard couple of weeks, though I may have made a friend. She isn't a soldier, but she works for the castle and seems pretty friendly. Maybe she'd want to hang out sometime. Day 148. Status soldier. Day 148. Purpose breaking and entering. Days it took to finish. 2. Sentence prison. Name blank again. Note. Boring work as usual, life's been work, hanging out with her, sleep, repeat. Surely being a soldier can't be this boring forever. Status soldier, day 564, purpose theft, days it took to finish, 2, sentence prison. Note, getting tired of all these thefts, I need something more interesting. She's been complaining about the kingdom and their issues to not help the villages and fellow kingdoms around us. I told her to stay out of it, but she doesn't seem to listen. She should mind her own business and focus on protecting our own. Status soldier, day 1375. Purpose breaking and entering, theft, violating parole. Days it took to finish, 24. Sentence prison. Note, might be promoted soon, which is fantastic, but I haven't talked to her much lately. She always has excuses and work things to deal with. I hope she isn't sticking her nose in places it doesn't need to be. This nonsense about helping other kingdoms is ridiculous. Doesn't she know that she should stick with her own people? We're doing just fine here. Status General, Day 1594. Purpose, providing protection for grand event. Days it took, 1. So glad I'm done with all the repetitive easy work. Big missions, harder criminals, those are the days I live for. I've heard there's been a couple issues on the medical side of things, theft or something. I'm sure it'll be sorted out. Status General, Day 2035. Purpose, grand robbery of the castle, interfering with medical supplies, confining with outsiders, arson, etc. Days it took, blank. Sentence, captured dead or alive. Name, Lucky Rose Thorn. Of course this would happen. I told her to stay in her lane and she couldn't. That stubborn fool is going to get herself killed out there. Day 56. This is the longest I've ever searched for someone. I've never been far outside the walls, but the kingdom is waiting for me. I'm tired of playing hide and seek. Day 349. Caught up to her, but she's not alone. Damn fool got herself a friend. Some sort of seal. I thought they weren't around anymore. Anyway, I made my move, and those two are stronger than they look. Gonna have to stay low for a while my face heals. Day 503. I'm tired of this nonsense. They act like this is some sort of game messing with me whenever we meet. She disobeyed the law, she put herself in danger, and she thinks these outsiders should be helped. What have they ever done for us but cause problems? What does she see in them? Day 538. Everyone's gone. I returned home for supplies, but it's a ghost town. They left me. Day 560. No signs of anyone. Apparently something happened and most of the population is lost or killed or something. I've nothing to do but complete my mission for my people, my kingdom, and for the sake of knowing that what may have happened to that woman and finally putting my mission to rest. Day 1378. I'm not sure what I'm doing anymore. I've tracked her to some strange planet, if she even left the planet at all. I may be going crazy and she may just be gone like the rest, but there's something new here. There's a life. That's it.
Interesting.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh.
All right. I can get the next one? Question mark? Unless Trevel wants to.
Yes, I would like to read out the next one.
All right.
Let me go ahead and start. Okay, short explanation of what this is basically. Angel comes across his old house, but he doesn't recognize it. He goes through the stuff in it and eventually finds a barrel full of photo frames that he hadn't seemed to be put up yet. Basically, he's just looking at pictures of himself with people he doesn't even know. At least he doesn't know anymore. For a little bit, Angel had been exploring without Ceylon?
Ceylon?
Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Until eventually he came across a house on a mountaintop. Snow all around, said home. Huh? What is this place, and why does it seem familiar? He asked himself. He shrugged off the feeling and walked to the house. It looked pretty much abandoned, like it hadn't been occupied in a while. He walked through the snow, his boots crunching the snow. This architecture is nice, honestly. This architecture is nice. Honestly, it seems like something I would build, he muttered to himself. He carefully walked into the small entrance underneath the main part of the house, where numerous barrels and chests sat. There was even seemingly a fish tank, but it was clearly more suitable for an axolotl. He had also noticed the graves on the outside, and he had left a flower at each one reading Onyx Adeline and the other Helena Adeline. It was seemingly a son and a mother. Angel walked further into the storage room. He had eventually started going through the stuff, since clearly the home was abandoned, until he came across a certain barrel. He opened it, and what greeted him was not something he expected to see. There were probably more than 20 photo frames of him and complete strangers. The one on top, it was a picture of himself with 3 other people. He turned it around. Who is Alfie, Sentinel, and Yippee? He asked himself, noticing the names. He shrugged. Kinda weird. I don't know these people, he mumbled. The next photo was him and a girl. She looked almost identical to him. He was so confused at this thought, since he never had any siblings. Not to his knowledge, at least. This is so weird. This whole barrel is just photos of me with people I don't even know, he whispered to himself. He put the photos of him and the girl down. She seems so familiar, but I don't know her, he said to himself. It was too quiet. He missed Salen. He should have brought him along. When he lifted up another photo, it was him and 2 other people. The back said something about their names being Krufix and Urillo. Again, he hated how familiar they seemed, but he had no memories of them. The next one had someone he recognized. Oh, this is Light and I, he exclaimed excitedly. He tucked it into his bag. He was going to put this in his new home. He looked through more and more photos, but none of them seemed to ring a bell, and it pissed him off. Once he finished looking, he turned away and walked outside of the home, closing the door behind him. He walked over to the 2 graves and placed an allium. I never knew how to pronounce that.
Yeah, allium.
On one grave. Good. And a cornflower on the other. Rest easy. I never knew you, but I'm hoping you're in a better place, he spoke to the graves, before turning and leaving. I really have to get back to say, he's probably worried.
The winds of amnesia claim another. There's so much forgetting. By the end of the season, no one's gonna remember anything that happened. And everyone will forgive Freya and everything will be great.
Forget winds of amnesia, it's a tornado.
It's a tornado of amnesia. Who's Freya? Yeah. What's Solace? Where am I?
Who am I?
Who am I? What's going on? Zephyr lore. All right, I'll read this and then we can go in a circle again. I love seeing everyone switching to ellipsis. Nice to see. During the midday of Monday the 6th, Angel decided it would be a nice day to walk around Kindlegrim. The weather was nice and the sun shone down on the mangrove trees. The trees twisted together as they normally did, the roots connecting like arches as Angel stepped underneath them. He entered a clearing that had a small hill to his left and a half-built cottage to his right. He heard the subtle flap of wings in the wind as he walked closer, trying to see who was there. A log dropped in front of him. He instinctively took a step back. The log landed on the ground, and then next to it, a figure landed. His wings pulled into his back as they seemingly disappeared into it. That was Zephyr, the grumpy bird of the loners. His green eyes looked at Angel. He hadn't meant to almost squish them with a log, but then again, he was more focused on building than peopling. Zephyr spoke calmly, but not too kindly. Who are you? He questioned. He put his hands in his pockets so as not to seem too intimidating, considering his height already looms over the other. Angel tilted his head slightly, looking at Zephyr. Hi, my name's Angel, he said suddenly, smiling. He stood up straight. He wasn't sure what to say in this situation. What's your name? He asked, seemingly a bit hesitantly. Zephyr nodded before he spoke again. My name's Zephyr. Might I ask what you're doing around this area? He looked around for a moment as if to try to gauge how close the clearing was to the faction land. He took a minute before responding. Oh, I live in Kindlegrim. I like to explore the area around it often, he replied, still keeping a smile on his face. Ah, so you are too in the faction. That's why you look somewhat familiar. I must have seen you around the mainland. I do apologize for nearly crushing you with the log. I was too focused on building, Zephyr said. He tried to sound polite and not much like an English scholar, but he still kept his act from Finda. That's all right. My friend makes mistakes like that sometimes too, so I'm used to it, he said, trying not to seem too over the top or excited. I've been in Kindlegrim for a while. Also, what are you building here? It seems nice so far. I'm just working on building my home. It's not much, just a start until I can get the walls finished, Zephyr said as he looked at the half-built home. Only a few walls and rooms were set up for completion, and the roof was marked out with scaffolding. Oh, cool! It looks really nice. I haven't gotten around to building my own house yet, but I like seeing others build theirs, he said. Maybe he was acting a bit too excited, but he didn't really care. Well, thank you, and if you need help with your home, I suppose I can help. I used to help with building back home, and I just need to get more involved in other things rather than just myself. He tried to give Angel a polite smile, but it looked a bit off, but he meant well. He tilted his head slightly at the smile. It looked a bit odd, but he didn't mind. He shot right back up with a smile again. Thank you for the offer, but my best friend and I are going to build it together. Though, if we do need help, I'll ask, he exclaimed. He was clearly getting excited now. He's been excited for the last 4 paragraphs. But he's just getting excited now. We're just getting started. Is there anything in specific that you like doing? I like exploring. I am also decent at cooking, I guess? A lie. He was terrible at cooking. He could burn an egg if he tried to cook one. Of course, and I like blacksmithing, making jewelry and such just for fun. I also like to make clothing, though most of it is magical clothing, as one of my cloaks glows in the dark, and a few others help with my daily life. He nodded. He lied. Most of his clothing was for destruction, or telling whether something was bad or not. Zephyr cleared his throat after a moment and spoke again. Although I would love to continue to talk, I must continue on my home. I'd like to get it done before sundown. Though when my house is finished, maybe we can join with a cup of tea. Of course, I'd love to. Maybe you can meet my friend Salen as well, he said, giving a kind smile. Good luck with your house, Zephyr. I think you'll be able to find me easily if you ever need to find me or whatever reason, since I'm usually wandering around Kindlegrim during the day. Again, good luck on your house. Bye, Zephyr, he exclaimed before turning and walking away. Goodbye, Angel, and good luck on your exploration, Zephyr said as he turned around and went back to working on his cottage, preparing to get the walls done and leave the roof for later. He still wore the smile on his face. Maybe some people on this planet didn't deserve the punishment this world gives to people. Oh, there's like a little... Oh. You can click and clap on people's... Oh my god. We should all do this. I love that. I love ellipsis. It's so fun. That's how we can, like, I mean, obviously reacting to it works too, but...
Oh, this doc.
Do you want me to read it, Light?
Yeah.
Alright, I can read it.
Oh god, I'm scared.
It's fine, don't worry.
You should be.
Light, you're not painting me in a good light here.
What would I do that?
Alright, okay. Why was she allowed to do that? They watched their father's head perk up at the sound of their question, his large form hunched over his desk. In the dim candlelight and through their vision of self-placed tree leaves and branches, he looked like a shadow blending into the dark room and consuming the work he had been reviewing for hours now. However, it appeared to them more like the work was consuming him. They shuffled downwards through the door that led to their room, leaning over the wall of wood that lined the steps. They had designed the tree that stretched across the wall of their father's office and over his desk, stairs built into the trunk that led to their room, half in the artificial crown of the tree and half mined into the cave wall. They couldn't recreate their bunker, so that was what they settled with. Kron leaned forward a little more to come clearer into the candlelight, their arms folded tightly in front of them. They watched their father sigh and stand, his hands trailing across the surface as he shuffled papers into neat enough piles. They could see a slight flicker of tension in his face, the voided eyes squared, yet slanted. "Why are you not asleep? You should be. It is late." He knew why they were awake. He heard what they had asked. Kron placed their folded arms on the bark edge of the slanted trunk, their chin resting atop. Their hands gripped the cuffs of their sleeves, the fingers stained with pencil dust. Their grip was tight. They knew Croy would notice, and he did. "Miss Judge." They stopped themselves. Their eyebrows furrowed beneath their mask. The familiar voice of the judge of the judge returned, muffled in their mind. The words had been running around their head for the past few days. Mira. A correction, muttered with a small bitterness, named correctly through a tight jaw. Why was she allowed to yell at you like that? A beat of silence, but not one of shock. Their father knew that they would follow him to that meeting. He was waiting for this question, surely. He stared over Mira's head to them from the podium during the meeting. Then, finally, a breath. Roy moved closer to them, straightening his posture. Kron's eyes followed the ghost's hand, it resting over one of their smaller fist-curled ones. Because I did something wrong, and she was not happy with my choice. No, you didn't. Kron's shoulders squared, their hands pulling away from their father's. A small movement, but telling. Their head lifted. You spoke for Miss Guide, not for you. You wanted to tell. Their father's jaw tightened. His hand reached for it again, but stopped. Kron would not look at him straight on. If they did, they wouldn't be able to speak. Their stomach twisted, their head pulsed and pounded so loud that they didn't realize their breaths had shortened. Their father's other hand reached up, the other soon following, coming to rest on their shoulders. Your sister was sick. She asked me to do this for her. Yet you're blamed? Kron's hand slammed down on the bark they once leaned against, the sound resonating through the dark room and through the library outside. The sound hurt their ears, made their headache rage on. They ignored Croy's sharp retract of his reaching grip. They didn't need comfort, they thought. They needed to be heard first. Why is it always you? You're a faction leader, yes. So is Miss Guide. Miss Guide knew first, yet Mira lets her off for not saying a thing first. Kron, no, Dad. A quiet sniffle followed, their running nose earning a sharp tighten of their mask around their head, a pressure that was closing in on painful. It was necessary. If they wanted to get through this without breaking down, they had to hurt. It's not okay. I know you're going to say it is, but it's not. You went through bad stuff too. She can't just excuse Miss Guide and not you. Their throat dried and felt as if it was shrinking in. Their hands slammed against the wood again, clenched tight fists cracking into the bark, leaving tiny dents. A nearby batch of candles, their flames quivered, one blowing out. It was near at the ends of its wick anyways. You should have told the Navy. She cannot be talking with the shite with the spires in the evil Colosseum. She didn't say a single thing to the Navy about that. How long has it been going on? Oh, right, weeks. But God forbid you wait 2 days. Kron's words echoed off the walls as if their new home had become a cavern, a rage that filled caves yet could never break the surface of the sky. Just like on the 31st of May. Their head dipped down, their body slowly shrinking in on itself, despite their best efforts to stay tall, to stay stronger and bigger than they actually were. Their hands uncurled and braced against the sides of their hooded head, their fingers twitching when they made contact with the fur, as if repulsed, or maybe they didn't expect it. Why do we have to fall backwards, blindly into the Navy's hands now? Their ship destroyed Kindlegrim. They destroyed Mrs. Skullhammer's grave. A sharp hic and a stagger. They didn't know what Cor was doing in front of them. Their mind hadn't gotten there yet. My tree, Dad. My tree is gone because of them. Kron felt themselves be pulled down a few steps, the familiar shadow enveloping them. They turned their body into the grip, even as it lacked physical warmth, burying their face into the chest of the presence. The hushing of their father near their ear only provoked more tears, their chest jumping with hitched breaths that still had their previous stubbornness to not fall apart. Their arms hugged around Croy's torso in a grip that would have hurt the receiver. They lifted their mask to get closer, not caring that the water falling from their eyes would not soak into Croy's jumper, but leave splatters on the wonky wooden steps below their crouched forms. A rocking rhythm, slow and gentle, of songs softly whispered in a low, soothing tune. With time, their breath began to slow and their tears began to dry, leaving streaks down their cheek. A hand cupped their jaw and urged it gently upwards, Croy's face marred with a sad expression. They felt his thumb trace the scars on the right of their face, a gentle pressure that didn't hurt. Never hurt. I am sorry. I know that the last time I did this, I left. I left you alone to find me and to take care of yourself. They followed their father's gaze to the side, to his desk, to the yellow flowers planted in a small decorated pot Kron had designed clumsily for him. I will not leave you again. I was not well then. I am well now. As for Judge Mira, he faltered, his thumb slowing to a stop from its rhythmic movement on his son's face. Kron leaned into his hand to bring him back, to encourage him to continue. It earned a weak smile. There are things that she does not know. If I try to explain, I feel as she will not believe me. She has her view on what I did and the reasons for it. That, with her grief of Captain Marcello, her bitterness of Lumer Freya. He let out a soft exhale, his arms moving to wrap around his son to draw them closer. Kron's hands reached up to hold their father's face this time, mimicking the thumb movement. They watched their father's shoulders loosen, his dear ears perking beneath his hair. I will not argue with a grieving woman. Let her yell. I will just say what she wants to hear as a person who has less authority than her. A soft huff escaped Kron's nose, their lips pressing into a firm line. They weren't sure if they were happy with the answer. It didn't seem fair. It wasn't. Just because she lost her dad doesn't mean she gets to hate and treat mine poorly. I do not mind, Kron. All that matters to me is you, your sisters, our family. Making sure the home we built never falls apart, even if it is destroyed physically. A kiss landed on their forehead, then to their warm cheek, then the marred one, and finally to the tip of their nose. It elicited a small, weak laugh from Kron, their face soon burying against Croy's chest once again, feeling their father lift them up. Do you want to go to sleep? They shook their head. I want to stay with you longer. Okay, honey. I will stay with you.
This had me in tears when I first read it.
I have a tissue that I am crying into, genuinely.
Jesus.
I am emotionally damaged, and I'm going to Caitlin for therapy.
Kron deserves all the hugs. Oh my god.
It's true. They both do.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm just glad that they're actually together and happy. Well, okay, maybe not happy, but like, you know, they're there for each other now. It's not like I'm not begging for them to, you know, not keep missing each other. Almost running into each other. They have one another. They can make it through all of the angst.
Indeed.
Alright. This was before the last faction meeting, but it took a while to edit. Mentions of violence and murder and bad editing. This video talks about mental health, so don't watch if sensitive to that. Alright. Why am I like this now?
That's usually the case.
I hope that Lisa will be somehow. Oh.
Oh. Hi, Arrow.
Why are you here? That's it's fine.
Wait.
That's
Wait,
gross.
hang on. Wait. Arrow, please. Is something wrong?
Who's wrong? I'm not wrong. You're wrong.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just
I'm
something wrong with you.
I am fine. I am the best. I am great. Don't look at
I
me.
don't
Stop
think
staring
so.
at me. Why are you looking at me? Okay, fine, fine.
That's them. That's the
Arrow?
devil.
What?
The deal.
Arrow, I'm not gonna look at you. If you want, I can keep my distance, but can you at least? It's very obvious that something is wrong, and I don't want to pry, but I am concerned.
You know, I don't have to bother with you guys with it. It's fine. It's just something small. You can look at me. Look at me. I am cool. Look at me.
You said not to look at you, and it seemed to bother you, so
I'm fine. I'm fine. This is great. This world's great. People talking about death and stuff. I'm great. I'm the best.
who's been talking about death?
Well, that's kind of obvious, no?
I know I've mentioned it a couple times.
You've talked
But
about it, Trigo's talked about it, Freya's talked about it. A lot of people has talked about it.
because it's very prevalent on this planet.
Kind of memorial, for God's sake. I didn't know you guys did that here. Vacation my ass. I'm great. Is it too bright in here? Bright in here. I'll just go.
Errol. Okay,
Um,
Errol. You're not fine.
I'm
And it's
fine.
very obvious that you're not. Why don't you just sit down and take a breath and try to collect yourself, okay? Okay.
Sure.
I'm sorry if us talking about death made you uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Nah, no. I kill people for a living. Why would I be uncomfortable?
It seemed as though you were, especially since it's clearly a subject that's making you upset.
It's not the death. The guilt.
The guilt of killing people?
The pillager just standing
Guilt?
there,
No, I don't
making the
have
noise,
guilt.
just killing me.
People are bad. I kill bad people. I don't have
Like
guilt.
you.
I-
You are a bad person.
Thanks.
Atlas, let's just... He doesn't know about the mask. If you like, I can explain that. You go at least out in the hall and wait a little bit. Arrow,
What?
you made a deal with Atlas, right?
Yep.
Okay. The person you made a deal with wasn't the real Atlas.
Oh, you got mimics here too now? Oh my god.
No, it's not. It's... You know the mask he wore all the time?
Yeah.
The golden mask?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so from what I found out, that mask is used by an empire to basically supplant a person's conscious and use that person as a puppet for their order and beliefs. That person out there is the real Atlas, the one underneath the mask. The mask is, the mask Atlas is... He's somewhere. I have him. But I don't know if that deal is...
Does that mean I don't get my paper?
Probably not.
Damn it.
Look,
Everyone's just being obsessed with dead people. Can't just leave them the fuck alone? I don't want to. I don't want to see her again. Not again, not again. Please, just not again. I can't see her again. Just leave me alone. I don't hear you. You can't hurt me. Please, just die already. I saw you on the floor myself. I did it myself. Why do you have to torture me like this every single day? You did this. This is your fault. You fucking liar. I didn't do anything. It's... Why are my hands stained when I didn't do it? You shot her yourself, you fucking liar. Why do you lie to yourself? You fucking did this. This is all your fault. She did this. She did this to herself. I had nothing to do with it.
Are
You held the fucking trigger, you fucking sociopath.
We're all depressed.
What is depressed?
Disgusting.
I will
Back
You don't
up.
think you are disgusting?
I will back up. I will back up,
Back
please.
up.
Don't worry about them. Atlas,
You can't just go in people's face like that.
Atlas,
I can do whatever the hell I want.
No, you fucking can't.
Yeah, that's
Stop.
what I can.
oh,
What you
stop,
gonna do? Kill me?
both of you.
Go for it. Do it.
Stop,
Why-
stop.
Why are we fighting?
I don't know, but Atlas, what the hell is going on? This needs to stop, okay? Not here, not in front of people, especially Rex. I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know what has you like this. But Alice is right. You can't get into people's faces like that. And Atlas, you can't pull out weapons like that. That could get you into so much trouble. Especially now, especially if everything that happened last year.
Who would vote
You-
Light to be the leader of Solace? Because I sure would.
Need help at all? We're here to help. I'm here to help.
See spirits and shit, no? Because you can see ghosts. Because you can see dead people, no? Why don't you help me see my dead friend, huh? What about that? No, because
doesn't-
you're useless and keep talking about death anyway. I didn't mean to, you know. It wasn't my fault.
Arrow. I can take a lot of things, but I will not take. I want to help.
Don't help me. I need help.
She'd be
Why
less
not?
stressed if
Why
she was in
shouldn't I?
charge. She could take care of everything. Like,
He's my friend.
she doesn't have all the power right
No,
now,
I
but
don't
she
need
could.
Things in my life that he's fucking useful. I'm fine. I'm fine.
You're not fine. And look, if you want to see your friend, I can help.
No.
But that's... If you even have a message for them, I can
No.
deliver it to them. And why not? You clearly have things to say to them.
I don't want to see them. Not anymore. Not again. Not ever again. I can't see them. They're not there. They're not there. I can't see them. I'm not
Friend
fucking
Arrow?
insane.
I never said that you were.
Do you want a hug?
Rex, now isn't the time. People can't help you if you don't allow them to.
I don't need help. Like, I am the best.
It's
I
clear
am
that
the
you
greatest.
do.
I don't need help.
That's arrogant talking. No one can help you. If you continue to be like this, dismissive of your own feelings when it's clear something is bothering you. And some people do want to help. Some people aren't as useless as you think, as you want to believe. Because that's all that is. It's you wanting to believe people are useless so you can have an excuse to brush off their attempts to help.
No.
Her.
I'm fine.
Ah.
I've been fine.
In the background during this
fine.
really important
I
moment.
don't need people when I've been living by myself for years. I don't need it. I can do it. I'm surviving. I'm alive. And I don't need some freak show who can see ghosts telling me that I can talk to my best friend.
And you being alone isn't helping you, it's destroying you. It's hurting you in ways that
You wanna
be
see me fine? You
bad.
wanna see me fine? Fine. I'm fucking
Fine.
You're not fine, Arrow.
I am good. I'm the best. I don't need your help, and I don't know why you're trying to help me. I am so great.
Why are you in this state?
Wouldn't you like to know? I'm gonna go now. I don't know why you're trying to help me. I don't know who you guys even are. I move. Get out.
Rex. Wait, Rex! Going after them won't help.
But what if he goes away and I do not see them anymore?
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes
No.
you don't have. Rex!
No.
If they
It
don't
is
come
not
back,
okay. It is not okay.
I know it's not okay. I know it's not okay to lose somebody that you thought was a friend.
That is not fair.
Some things in life are just not fair.
Did I do something wrong?
Oh, hey. Why are you just in the middle of the path?
Don't act like that just didn't happen.
What?
Don't act like that just didn't happen.
Dude, I don't know what you're on about.
It looked like you were having a mental breakdown.
What?
You were going off saying over and over again you were fine, that you didn't need help, that you were the best,
Doesn't sound
and
like me.
then
It does not sound like them. It is okay now. You are back. Hello. I have new clothes. See? It's great.
Yeah, it looks very dapper, my dude. I like it.
I am so dapper and epic. Yes, I am.
Very epic.
Okay.
You are dapper.
I made a
epic.
cake in up there, and I don't know if you guys ate it or not. If not, that is okay. It will last forever, I think. Maybe. That's just how cooking works.
That's good. You're
cooking.
amazing.
No, it's baking, cooking, and ingredients do have expiration dates, especially if they're left out in certain environments.
Well, we better eat it now, friends.
Y'all should see a therapist. Damn.
What is a therapist?
You can't be talking.
Tons of effort put in that one, I could tell. Good job to everyone involved. Tons of effort put in that one, I could tell. I just
Once
heard
again,
myself.
my tissue comes in handy.
Oh, no, the next one. No.
Oh, I'm scared. Also, I forgot.
Alice, I'm going to cry again because of you.
The winds of amnesia got me.
The tornado of amnesia is hitting everyone today.
I mean, I do live in Tornado Alley.
Question: is this copyrighted music? Is this next one gonna be copyrighted music?
You are.
Oh, I think I know what song this is. I'm pretty sure this might be. I'm gonna have to mute it. I'm so sorry. It's really cool though. I hear it playing in my mind, don't worry. Angst. Someone should report this tornado. Exactly. We need SUNC rebuilt. Angst. Someone should report this tornado. Exactly. We need SUNC rebuilt. Why am I hearing myself?
Sorry, it's me.
Oh.
That was crazy. I just got, like, triple echo.
Echo?
The instant trick, oh my god.
Maybe echo is causing the tornado of amnesia.
You're right!
Always stay a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, I just realized my camera was gone. Okay. Camera's back now. Okay. Light, did you want to read Light's team cabin thing? Alright.
Yeah, I can read this one. Oh. Okay.
Before you read it, let me just say myth. Peak event. Peak puzzle. This was so fun to solve. I did it all by myself because no one wanted to help the Navy. Except Comet gave me a lot of help towards the end because I was so stumped on some things. But that was like out of character. I was like, hey, does anyone want to give the Navy any, help? They can help you. No. And then the right cabin was found before. Literally, I was like, I'll listen to the audios and make my guess tomorrow. And then Trigal found it. So, but it may be a good thing that the Navy didn't find,
Yes.
I don't know why everyone hates the Navy either. I want to clarify, the Navy is good in this universe. You may have your feeling, like, political feelings on whatever in real life stuff. But, like, the Navy, the Soul Pack Navy is great. They're here to help. They're genuinely here to help. They have no ulterior motive. I'm not trying to be like, oh, there's gonna be a plot twist where Friedrich's evil or whatever. No. They're, like, Friedrich is great. She's one of my favorite characters of all time, and I'm not just saying that because I glazed the fuck out of Virgil. But like, she's really cool. She's done a ton of stuff in her life. Friedrich is Darth Vader. But yeah, the Navy is genuine. Like, Friedrich came here because she loves Marcello. You know, she lost like her son figure. She came here to try and help these people who he lived with for so long. And is like sending he messaged her and was like, hey, we need medical help. We need like psychological help. We need like building engineers, everything, like, please help. And so she brings all these people to help, and everyone's like, this is suspicious. You guys loved Marcello. Why do you hate all the Navy now? Anyway. Friedrich is the F in What? Okay. Please go ahead, Light. Sorry for that ramble. Go when you're ready, Light.
Light did say that
Oh.
she will be right back,
Oh.
so...
You want? I'll read it. It's fine. Okay. When Light gets back, they can continue? Or I could just read the whole thing. We'll see. Cabin 4, Light's team. Saturday, around midday. Is the music actually playing? Yes. It's just a cat one. Okay, this is a little better. Light and company had gathered once more for another day on their investigation. The 5th day so far. It was a warm day, and the bugs clung to the air for every ounce of heat they could gain. They buzzed and buzzed. Then the clack of hooves released them, a sound to break the concentrated focus of a distressed mind. Light's eyes turned to Lucky, caught in a discussion, a theory. The group was stuck, trying to decide which of the cabins they had found felt like the right one. There were audios, listening devices, encrypted with a password they had to find and piece together, which they did, but none of it had words spoken by Waters. That's what Light has been looking for, what the whole team has been looking for. That's what she and Zinnia are looking for the most. If they don't find him first, what will happen to him? Stars, couldn't he have just made this a little more obvious for them? Does he even want to be found? The audios had some voices, enough to eliminate many of the cabins easily, but there was a discussion, a compilation. There were 2 cabins that felt like they could be the one, a place where Waters would go, where he could have settled down. But they couldn't be in 2 places at once. You could have contacted the Navy! They could have you could have had a little, both on, yeah. They had to make a decision, and ultimately, that decision led them to the 4th cabin constructed, to a sound of audio where someone was settled in, comfortable. The thought process being that he wouldn't have moved after the shooting, that he'd be settled in, and not a recent arrival to another cabin. It was with that in mind that Light, Lucky, Croy, Kron, Zinnia, Orion, and Rex traveled to the 4th cabin. They split off, one group staying a good distance away in a camp while 2 stealth-capable members stayed close to the cabin on rotating watch. The first stealth members being Light and Croy. 2 p.m. The first hour passes like that, Light and Croy holding their positions, a distance away from each other. Zinnia calls for an update at the end of the hour, anxious. Light responds to say nothing has happened yet. It may take a while. Zinnia asks if she can stay on call for a little while, talk about random things, if it's going to really take that long. Light scopes out the look of the sky, measures the time of day, then she tells Zinnia to speak whatever is on her mind. She'll listen. 3 p.m. Another hour passes. Zinnia talks about what they should do if Waters does show up. She wants to run to him, but she's worried. What if he doesn't remember them? What if something happened and he's not happy to see them? Light assures her. She promises her that she'll also be running to him too. That if he tries to run or act weird, she'll hold on so tight he won't be able to go. If they find him tonight, they are not losing him again. 4 p.m. Another hour in and Kron messages Croy for a check-in. They're worried. Light has been out for a while despite still recovering. It's not with intention to call off the search, but more of a hope for someone to check on her physically or remind her about the shift change. She's not answering her comms. Croy moves to the part of the forest Light has been in. She's still quietly talking and listening to Zinnia. There's a pained expression on her face. It doesn't take much convincing to get her to return to camp. There's a guilty expression the second she spots Croy. Lucky swaps in around the end of the hour, having taken the time to quietly traverse the forest to join Light where she was, walk her back to camp, then return to her spot and watch. 5 p.m. As the hour changes, the passive sounds of the forest dim. The light in the sky is a dying one. 5 hours and no sign of anything or anyone. Croy has watched creatures skitter past. They don't avoid the cabin, but they don't try to go into it. 2 facts at odds with each other. It's something Lucky and Croy discuss over messages. Someone lives here. Someone who stays inside more often rather than not. The creatures know not to try to go inside, but how can someone not be outside at some point? Even a small amount would be enough to trigger that animal defense mechanism. 6 p.m. The next hour, and Light is visibly growing anxious the longer she sits in the camp. Zinnia sits next to her on a log in front of a recently built and unlit campfire, holding her hands to stop her from standing up and pacing in a way that would agitate the pain of her amputations. Rex and Orion are not sure what to do, what to say. Orion knows that Light needs to find Waters. He wants to help her do that with everything in him, but he's not sure how. He doesn't want to make a mistake, to rush in and break up the plan they all took the time to make, so he sits quiet, concerned, and watches Light as the seconds pass. Rex makes conversation about the idea of not setting a fire, because what if the light would scare the tank guy off? Wouldn't want that, right? It is warm enough outside, he claims, while the others remind him they'll need it to see soon. It is disappointing news for him. He was so close to not getting a fire going. 7 p.m. The dimming lights burns the sky in the final hour before the night can set in. Lucky watches it, in absence of anything to watch on the ground. She sits with her back against a tree, and a sidelong glance moves to the small cabin sitting still not too far away. Is this actually such a good idea? If this is Waters, he shot the last person who got close here. What's to say that won't happen again? She wants to trust Light. She wants to help her find her dad. But there's just something nagging at her about this whole situation, something that won't quite settle. As the next hour falls, so does the light of day. It has been nearly 4 hours since Light had last swapped off, and she's eager to get back out there. She claims she can handle it, that her pain has gone down, and it'll be fine. But Zinnia can't be so convinced. It's a concern, but also built on the possibly selfish desire to keep her sister close so she feels less scared herself. Though she doesn't voice that out loud. She just looks at Light with these eyes that scream, "Are you sure you're okay?" and hopes that's enough. However, by the end of the hour, Light is moving through the forest to meet Lucky again, to switch out, while Zinnia goes over to sit by Kron. 9 p.m. Light arrives at Lucky's spot and starts to let her know about the swap out, explaining she feels better, but the conversation is halted short. There's a sound in the woods. Only one. It happens quietly, like an accident, but they're both immediately on alert. It's far enough to be out of visual range. They tuck out of view and Light types out a quick update to the group, letting them know to be quiet, but be prepared to move in. Lucky taps her shoulder while she's typing out to point out a shape moving in the dark, a distance away. Light nearly stops typing entirely, but instead she types quicker, maybe makes some mistakes, but she sends it and puts her device down. She watches the figure like a hawk. It moves slowly, very carefully through the forest with a trained accuracy. There is not another snap of branch or crack of leaves. It really was an accident, that first sound. It's a slow, agonizing stretch of time as the figure gets closer. Light watches so intently to see the shape change, to see that distinctive tank. She's itching to see him. At one point, the shapes blend so she could swear it looks like him, but Lucky holds her shoulder and they wait. Then the figure breaks through the trees, masked still by the night. A tall, masculine figure, but no tank. Maybe it's a stranger just passing through. Maybe it is Waters and he's holding his breath, or the Wave Seeker's done something to him. It can't not be Waters. The man, shadowed still, moves to the cabin door. He slowly creaks it open and peers inside like he's anticipating to see someone. Then he steps into the cabin slowly and closes the door quietly behind him. It's quiet for a minute. Then Light stands up fully. She walks towards the cabin. Lucky doesn't say anything. She just quietly follows behind her. She saw the same figure but didn't run through the same bargaining phrases. Light's hand moves to the handle and Lucky watches as Croy becomes visible to the right side of the cabin. He looks at her and she shakes her head to him. There's a deep motion like a sigh as he turns from them to make his way towards the campsite to inform the others. Inside the cabin, Light meets the face of the sole resident of the fourth cabin. He stands, a tall man with tanned skin of auburn complexion. There's nowhere for him to go to escape, so he looks to her with a sharp, surprised gesture. He has scars across his face, tired eyes, and he's found stalled between powering on a portable radio listening device he holds in his hands. The device is set down, quiet as the room around them. He raises his hands in the universal gesture of surrender, palms out. Human hands, human face. This man is human. "Are you with the Navy?" he asks. "No," Light responds, but it's not spoken in relation to his question. The man lowers his hands slowly. He is unarmed, carries no visible weapons on his body, and none were discovered inside the cabin during the search. He bears no threat to them, and means them no harm. Slow, he turns to the counter he set his device down on. Then he sets his palms on the counter beside it and leans into them. "But you carry Solpac communication devices. This scans for those. I forgot to turn it on. How could I be so stupid?" There's a vacancy in the way Light stands in the space, listening to him yet also not. Lucky still stands partially outside, watching her with concern. She places a hand on her and moves around her into the cabin. She lands her own sharp eyes onto the stranger now fully for the first time. Who are you and why are you hiding from the Navy? Lucky asks. The man looks at her and he thinks for a moment before deciding it's already over. He may as well tell someone. My name is Carlisle Tenebrum. I'm from the Outer Rim. I joined the Solace Relief Group to get away from that place. I got here 2 weeks ago, and I don't have any special skill that can help this planet. I don't know anything. I forged my papers so I could get here. I just wanted to sleep on an actual bed somewhere. Guilt weighs heavy on the man's shoulders. Fear waves through the air. He is just a human. He's not Waters. He's not the shooter. He's nobody. It was my only way out. I don't want any trouble. I just want a few more peaceful nights, and then I'll turn myself in. I swear I will. Please don't turn me in sooner. Neither of them have reason to. They watch his hunched form for a minute. He doesn't look back at them, possibly knowing they are citizens of this planet, knowing he abandoned the cause set to help them specifically. There's nothing they can say to him. He's not what they wanted to find. Yeah, poor guy. And then we have Cabin 5.
I can read this one.
Are you sure you want to read this one?
I can. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was have to go feed my chickens.
It's okay.
Can I read the next one?
Sure.
Yay.
Okay. Cabin 5, Trigal. Sunday, in the midnight hours. It was late, and Trigal just couldn't sleep. A couple hours earlier, she had learned that Light's team did not find Waters or the shooter. She had gone to speak with Akarani and question about what she remembered of the environment around her before being shot when she overheard their conversation. She didn't mean to listen in, to catch the sadness in Light's tone as she spoke about the human inhabitant in Cabin 4. Not the person she was looking for. Not Waters. Not the shooter. To avoid disturbing them, she left her questions in her mind. She took a step back, then another, and she gradually retraced her path to be as if she wasn't there at all. She thought she could leave it at that and just return to Akarani at morning light to ask those questions she kept to herself. It didn't work out like that. That curious energy that drew Trigal to climb out of bed at midnight, to load her gun and hold it close, to message Rex to send a message to Rex, letting him know where she'll be in case anything goes wrong. Trigal had heard all the audio files in the listening devices in the cabins. She had a theory about the path traveled that Arachne could have potentially taken. Food being dropped off to one cabin, the fallen being repaired after a storm. A theory about a shot being fired on the way to the next, then the fleeing action of the shooter to continue that path of travel and ended up at that cabin. Without being able to talk to Akarani, it was just a theory, a dangerous one to test on her own. But here she was, 1 a.m, traveling to the potential home of a gunman. 1 a.m. Trigal stands in front of the cabin in the tropical forest. It's small, slightly overgrown, quiet inside. The silence makes her second guess her decision. She wants to be right. She so badly wants to. But some part of her is also scared to be. She holds her hand, hovering in the air, a fist ready to knock, paused for a fearful second. Then she taps her knuckles against the wood quickly and takes a large step back from it, like as if it'll jump out at her. But it doesn't. Nothing really happens. This isn't a sound inside. Not even the quietest drop of a pen or the squeak of shoes on a hardwood. Immediately, she felt relief, then disappointment. That can't be it. She thought about this cabin a lot. The rate of a group of people on a listening device talked about being watched. Then the silence of the person in the audio to follow them. It's suspicious. Enough to believe that the person who was watching them was the same person who moved in after them. Which means they could be watching her as well, right now. She shoots her eyes across the forest, the cliff edge, the bushes, the defining trees, and climbing mountain ledges behind the cabin. The lanterns outside just light the area enough that she didn't see a shadow that stands out too obviously person-like. She takes a step back, her eyes still frantically scanning. Her foot finds the edge of a bush. Stakeout. Yeah, that sounds better than just being visible in the woods at night alone with someone possibly armed. It's a frantic thought, but Trigal treats it carefully. She gets down into the bush and conceals herself as best as possible. She sits in a way to work against the light coming from the lanterns. Shadows should conceal her position. She has her gun at the ready, so it should be fine. She just needs to wait it out. What could go wrong? 2 a.m. She waits. 3 a.m. She waits. As the thought that builds in the back of her mind starts to grow too strong. What if nobody is coming? What if she overthought this whole thing and there's just nobody? A splash. She nearly jumps out of her skin at the sound of it. It had been so quiet aside from the buzzing bug insects for so long. There was a gust of wind. Did it knock the branch into a tree? Off a tree into the river? She stares. As she stares, she watches the suddenly absurdity of a stream of water bursting above the cliff edge into the sky. It's like a backwards waterfall, a geyser. Suddenly, the splashing droplets of water all over the area like rain. She ducks down to avoid the droplets, but her eyes can't leave the water stream. It's not descending. It's holding in the air for seconds, a minute. It's purely water. She thought it was purely water. The figure wasn't in there even a second before. It wasn't there. And now it's stepping out of the water like it's an elevator at the stop. A heavy boot on a grassy cliff edge. Masculine. He carries a net full of fish slung over his shoulder. They're still moving, alive, freshly caught. The water stream drops behind him with a loud splash that Trigal holds so intensely still to not jump out again. The man walks one step forward, a second step. Then he stops still. The tank that sits upon his head was lowered. The bottom moves as he lifts it and lifts it to look around, staring from one edge of the tree line to the next. But he stops early. He's looking at Trigal. The man stands wearing a black leather jacket, fur-lined with over a black turtleneck, dark gray denim cargo pants tucked into black combat boots. His outfit is practically built for blending in at night, but lights up against the warm glow of lanterns. He's familiar in that strange way that can't be placed. Like in that one missing persons poster at the market, the one of Director Ian Waters of SUNC, a man wearing a water jug. He's real. He's there. He's staring at her. The tilt of his head, the fearful tension in his shoulders. I haven't met you before, haven't I? Have I? He says, his voice modulated through an unseen speaker. Treacle doesn't respond. She doesn't want to show her location, just in case he's bluffing on actually seeing her, or he's talking to someone else. She holds still as tightly as possible, and he just stands there. Then he taps his foot and turns his head back towards the cabin door. I need to put these in the ice chest or cook them. You should follow me inside. The grass won't be very comfortable in an hour. It's about to rain. He speaks with a tone that is casual and confident, and he doesn't wait for a response. He turns back to the cabin and pushes the door open, calling out, stop recording, in a voice that's barely audible into the space through the shutting door. Slowly, Treacle stands. She looks to the door of the cabin, left ajar, and she stares with consideration. The morning would have arrived by the time she makes it through the trip back home. The thought of traveling like that, tired and through the rain, it doesn't make her feel good. He is offering her a kindness, and someone is looking for him. So maybe she can trust him, just for one night. She pauses to send a message to Rex, letting her know that she found someone, and then she approaches the cabin door.
Ooh. It's like I love Water's entrance because it's like a returning character from, like, you know, you're watching your favorite show or movie franchise. Yeah, he's aura farming, dude. And you're like, the description, you're like, oh my god, it's Waters!
It's Waters! Yay!
Truffle, you said you wanted to read this one?
Yes, hello, sorry. I was talking to someone. Let me pull it up
rush.
on Lore Tuesday. Balios, Orion, and Xenia lore? Exciting. How do I put this on dark mode? Okay. The sun was nearly starting to set, and Orion was heading towards his mother's home.
I think it's Orion.
Oh, right. My bad.
It's okay, I just didn't want you to say Orion the rest of the time.
I'm not thinking today. This was around the time he and Light would come together after a long day to relax and enjoy a meal or two. A chat. However, as Orion followed the path that connected Aetheria and the road down to where Xenia's river is, he began to hear something in the back of his mind, like a whisper. Slow day, nephew. It was barely noticeable to him, was too quiet in his mind. Though the voice got louder, and then he heard footsteps fall next to him. Orion jumped a bit startled at the appearance of a person, though he called when he noticed it was his uncle, Balios. Balios led Orion to a bench. He wanted to speak to him before sending him off to continue doing what he needed. Hello, Orion. It's wonderful to meet with you again, and I apologize for the sudden appearance, but I must call on a favor since you are heading in that direction. Baleo said, his voice calm and monotone. It was always like that when he spoke, like it was void of emotion. Though, if Light had told the boy any of what he's been through, he'd understand that holding appearances can take effort. Orion paused before looking at his uncle. Oh, hello, Uncle Balios, he called out before lowering his voice. You need a favor? He said more quietly than he did before. What can I do for you, then? He questioned his uncle. You know Light's sister, Zinnia, your aunt? I know of her, but the qualities of my memory have been all over the place. Space travel and magical reason. You'll eventually learn that. So I need you to get some of the basic information about her. Just the basic information. Her likes and dislikes, fears, and the relationship between the two of us. I know it's familiar, but my brain just wouldn't register it. So if you could please do it, I'll do you a favor the next time we meet. His voice going from monotone to somber, acting as if the information he needed was for a good cause. Yeah, of course, I will. I do want to know her better. He nodded to himself before he started to walk down the path. Her house is right across from my mom's house, so I can stop over there and get the information you need. As he walked down the path, taking in the landscape, the beautiful trees and the small picnic area, before stopping at his Aunt Zinnia's house and knocking on the door. I don't know why those sentences tripped me up so much.
So real.
Zinnia cheerfully opened her door. Once the knock rang out, she smiled happily as she saw her nephew at the door. Orion, how have you been? It's not been so long since we've seen each other. She invited him in and sat on a spinning chair, gesturing for him to sit down on the couch. Orion walked into Zinnia's house before looking around at the decor. It matched her vibes from what he talked to her about. She seems like the person to have a lot of flowery decor. Very lovely place you have here, Aunt. Orion smiled before sitting down on the couch. Why, thank you. I decorated myself. What brings you into my humble abode? Sorry, she said with a smile as she spun in her chair. She had a big smile on her face as she did so, both excited that she gets to talk to her nephew and get to spin. So I wanted to know more about you as a person, Orion smiled, a sweet smile, trying to lower her guard so he could gain more information out of her. So, Zinnia, what do you like? I know you like flowers and the color pink, but what else do you like? Well, I'm a huge fan of sweets, cakes, pies, cookies, all those kinds of things, and yes, I like flowers. And I also love hopeful views on the future. Everyone needs something to look forward to. She smiled, slowing her spinning when he spoke, before asking a question back. What about you? What are your likes? She said before speeding up her spinning. Orion paused. He hadn't actually thought about what he liked in a while. Being trapped in that mask made him forget what he was like before. Well, I like hand-to-hand combat, and I like my sword if that counts. Orion nodded. Those seemed like something normal people would like. So what don't you like, or what are you afraid of, just so I know what not to bring around? Zinnia froze her spinning for a moment. She looked at Orion. Her smile was still bright, and her eyes didn't lose their sparkle. She began spinning slowly. Oh, you know, the typical stuff, sour foods and the cold. I also hate when I end up being the person who thinks the worst. And for fear, I'm scared of the normal horror stuff, ghosts and all that. It's not fun listening to the stuff. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm also not a fan of fires and seeing my friends hurt. That's a main one. She stopped her spinning and looked down, her smile dimming some before she shook her head and looked back at Orion, bringing her smile back up. But enough about that. Let's talk about something more cheerful. Well, on the topic of cheerfulness, Orion smiled before thinking of what Baleo said to bring up and get information on. What about my uncle? I've heard his name mentioned quite a few times, but I always wonder what your relationship was with him. Orion smiled a soft and innocent smile. Oh, Balios, yeah, he's like a brother to me. I met him through Light. We've talked and met before. We at least know of each other, but we don't talk much. He is the clumsy one. He's probably causing trouble somewhere. She chuckled. Somehow her memory of Balios has yet to be tainted by the new one here on Solace. Orion nodded, and then the time passed as the two continued to talk, spending family time together. And as the sun dipped down near the horizon, the two bid each other farewell, and Orion finished his journey to his mother's home, noticing the shadowy figure that had been listening into the conversation. Though Zinnia couldn't see or sense him, Orion knew his uncle was watching.
Ooh, spooky. Truffle, I love the way you read Zinnia's lines.
Thank you.
Alright, from Violet, How I Lost Everything. Substance abuse, violence, and minor self-harm. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Bailey says, I was so nervous trying to write a Zinnia. I dislike writing for other characters because I don't want to mischaracterize them. I think you did a good job. I mean, Zinnia's not my character, but, I mean, seemed like her. I will read this one. Have you found it yet? The director didn't even bother to look at me as her commanding grip on the side of her chair tightened. She was furious, but her tone was so even that it was often hard to tell. Her body, however, had no problem showing it. Her veins were slightly visible, and her cheeks were awfully red. Her brow was furrowed so deeply that it shadowed over her mossy eyes. No, Director, I haven't found her yet. Her tracker is offline, likely damaged. Lying. It came so naturally to me once I started working here. And the tracker and the escape pod it used? Is that offline as well? She asked, her tone deeper. She now had her head turned slightly so she could see me in her peripherals. Yes, ma'am, I muttered. I felt myself sink as she stood slowly. She paced the deck with an echo that was hard to ignore. All that was heard were her boots' heavy landing. She finally stopped in place. Tails? Tiles? Tell me, why would you let it escape? I froze, but I didn't waver. My lies had to stay consistent. With one flaw, she would throw me into the stars and never turn back. I answered with a very flat voice. I didn't let her escape. She got away. She managed all of it on her own, I swear it. She faced me. Her gaze made me tremble within, but I was able to hide it as a hand tick of sorts. They want it back, Tails. I keep thinking like Tails, like Sonic Tails. Tell me if I'm saying this wrong. I don't know if they're even here. If you do not produce it, they will kill all of us. Keep hiding it, but you will cost everyone on this ship their lives. Do you want that? Do you want everyone to die because you wanted to save something that reminded you of... I cut her off with a stomp of my foot. She is not my daughter. I am not protecting her. I don't know where she is, and if you keep pestering me instead of looking for her, you'll get nowhere. May I please be dismissed? Defiance laced my every word as my fists clenched. The director smiled softly. There was no kindness, only malice. When we find it, I'll let them kill it in front of you so you can show me how little you care about it. I felt my face redden with anger. I turned my head away and held my tongue. May I please be dismissed? I asked again through gritted teeth. The director reached down and grabbed my face. You weak little man, tell me where it is. She raised her voice. I held my breath, desperate to avoid the scent of her perfume for fear of my memories returning. As I breathed out, I hissed. I don't know where Violet is, and if I did, even in the slightest, I would never tell you. She promptly threw me aside with a force only her bionic arm could achieve. I felt my back slam against the wall with a horrid snap. The wind was knocked out of me immediately, leaving me a crumpled mess on the floor, gasping for air and reeling with pain. I could barely see her. She managed to throw my glasses off my face with the force of her release. As I reached around, her boots stomped onto my hand. I released a wheezy shriek and turned my head up to her. She knelt down, her foot applying more pressure as she did so. Disrespect me again and see what happens. Now scramble out of here, you miserable drunkard. She stood up and returned to her chair. I could faintly hear her laughing to herself. I felt around for my glasses once more. When I finally found them, I put them on and slowly left the room. I slumped over in my room with an empty bottle beside me and a few pain relievers spilled on my bedside table. As I wallowed in pain, I hardly noticed a good friend of mine entered the room. You shouldn't let her treat you like that. You know you have power. You know you can simply fight back. Why don't you? I turned my head to face the tall, well-dressed man who I decided to make my best friend back in college, William. He smiled at me with a sincerity I hadn't seen in so long. It was refreshing. His nose wrinkled as he took in the scent of alcohol. I looked at the empty bottle and groaned sadly before returning his gaze. I thought you quit. Were my candies not helping you? He looked disappointed in me. I rubbed the back of my neck, embarrassed and unsure what to say. I'll be honest, they did help, but I ran out, and I didn't want to pester you. Not to mention I got my ass handed to me today, so yeah. William made a tss as he shook his head. I squinted at him. Don't tishk me. I've had a rough day, all right? I won't drink anything else, I promise. Unimpressed, but not willing to argue further, he grabbed a chair and sat down. He leaned forward as he spoke. Did you really let her escape? Violet, I mean. Did you let her go? I rolled my eyes to keep up the act. Even partially inebriated, I was able to manage my lies efficiently. He scoffed and laughed a bit. I suppose that tells me everything. He leaned to the side and pressed the button to close and lock the door. I was about to ask him why he did that when he turned back to me and became quite serious. It tells me you're a liar. I know that eye roll. That's her tell. And if Tess were with you any longer, she would know too. Seriously, Liam, what the hell were you thinking? My eyes widened with shock, but I desperately tried to keep up the act. What tell? What are you talking about? I'm not lying. I didn't let her escape. I would never. She's precious to me. I never wanted to just lose her like that. Half true, half not. I could only hope he wouldn't see through it. Stop lying to me, Liam. We've been friends for 12 years and you expect me not to know when you're lying? Tell me the truth. Please, I need to know. When he wasn't pressing on one wound, he was pressing on another. I sighed and rubbed my eyes with the palms of my hands. You're too observant. Look, it's dangerous to tell the truth, especially with dictator in command. Just drop it unless you have some way to ensure we're safe. I whispered sharply and gave him a serious glance. He nodded at me and pulled a small beetle of sorts out of his pocket. He said something to it in a hushed voice in a language I couldn't understand, then he handed it to me. What is this? I grimaced. I hated bugs. Looking at the thing's little face almost changed my mind until William said, You need to eat it. I looked at him with a horrified, disgusted expression. I am not eating this, William. Absolutely not. When I tried to hand it back to him, he shook his head and pushed it closer to my mouth. You will eat it if you want a private conversation. It's a language beetle. I made it myself. The effects are not permanent. You may suffer some side effects, but they shouldn't be too severe if that's what you're worried about. Well, I mean, I don't exactly know what all the side effects are, but I assume they're harmless. His voice trailed off a bit as he squinted his eyes. He shook his head and looked back at me. Eat the beetle, he commanded. I squeezed my eyes shut and tried not to gag as I placed the beetle in my mouth. My hands were shaking so badly that it almost felt like the beetle was alive. With a quick crunch, it was being consumed. Rather than tasting like beetle guts, however, it tasted of a green apple. I raised my brows in surprise. Oh, this actually tastes really good, I commented and crunched away. William raised a brow at me. Do any of my candies not taste good? As I swallowed down the sweet treat, I chuckled. I thought it was an actual beetle, Will. It looked very realistic. He beamed with pride at my words. Oh, that's wonderful. I was worried they didn't look realistic enough. I painted them myself. They are lovely, aren't they? He cleared his throat and nodded his head, not bothering to wait for an answer before he moved on. Now, can you hear the language I'm currently speaking is English? I furrowed my brow. Your language didn't change. He beamed once more, though this time he wiggled in his seat like a child and clasped his hands together. It worked! Huzzah! Oh, I was really worried it wouldn't work. You're speaking Nexic right now. As am I. I gave an expression of complete cluelessness. Explain, I said simply. He moved around a bit until he was finally calm and adjusted. When you whisper the name of a language to the language beetle, little programs within it activate. Archives of all the knowledge stir within it. Upon consuming it, the language whispered sounds like your native language. In this case, Nexic sounds like English to you right now. However, it will only last for 2 hours, so we only have that much time to discuss what really happened with Violet. You do not need to worry. No one on the ship knows Nexic or is from Nexus 12. I double-checked. He blinked at me expectantly. Wow. You are such a nerd, I snickered before bursting into full-blown laughter. He groaned and crossed his arms over his chest. My only thought here is, wouldn't... I feel like if anyone's watching the, security footage or happened to, to hear them, wouldn't it be a little suspicious they're suddenly speaking a language that no one else understands? especially if this guy is being watched closely. And you're such a child. Now, please, let us get back on the topic. I nodded and wiped a tear away with a smirk. Right, yeah, sorry. I waited until I heard the click on my device. The bug was in action. The cameras were down. I made my move. I rushed into the cells and unlocked hers specifically. She was beginning to scream when I carefully hushed her with a gesture. I'm going to get you out of here. I know you don't remember me, but I will help you, I promise. Come on, I need to hide you. I wheeled in a cart used for carrying random cargo and storage. The storage bay was quite close to the evacuation deck. It was not only convenient, it was perfect for my plan. I lifted her and grimaced when I felt either ribs or scars from under her clothes. I placed her within and made sure to hide any of her exposed features. She made a few whimpers, but otherwise she didn't protest. Quickly and carefully, I wheeled the cart through the halls. From hall to elevator, she was finally in the evacuation bay. I made sure everything was clear and locked the doors tightly. To ensure no one could get through, I jammed them with my device. My special device came in quite handy throughout, though it was near breaking from how many times I used it to hack the doors to the pantry for midnight snacks. I set up an escape pod and disabled its tracker with a device and personal work. I pulled her out of the cart and finally got a good, thorough look at her. She was frail, terrified, and quiet. We stared at each other for a long while. It shortened how much time I had to work, but it had happened, I think. She and I needed to stare at each other. She was investigating every line that creased my skin and slowly piecing together some kind of idea. Do I know you? She asked finally. Her head tilted a bit as she furrowed her brow. She looked scared of me and struggled to understand what memories were forming. I think it's best if you don't know. It will make what's about to happen next less painful. Hoping to make her believe I was still an enemy, I equipped my dagger and cut out the tracking chip in her neck. I placed it on a nearby shelf and crushed it with the dagger's blunt end. I cleaned the wound before rubbing a healing agent all over it. Afterwards, I helped her into the escape pod and went to a panel to prepare a manual evacuation procedure, one only reserved for the captain or mission operative director. I looked up at her ever so often. Recognition formed every time I did until eventually I heard her start to cry. I paused, eyes on the screen. I couldn't see her cry again, not after everything, but I couldn't stop myself. Our eyes met. Father, is that you? She questioned in a breaking voice. I squeezed my eyes shut and struggled to keep myself standing. My knees were slowly starting to buckle. Don't call me that. I'm no father, I muttered and gripped the panel edges. When she started to exit the pod, I shook my head and went over to keep her in. My hands gripped hers and I felt myself freeze. I saw her hands and mine. They were cut up and shaking, but they were holding mine like they used to. I finally fell and began to break. Father, it's really you, she cried and wrapped her arms around me, but I had to pull away to avoid getting attached. She was getting too close. She had no idea I was about to let her go again. Stop it, please. It's going to make this far too difficult. Please, Vi, stop. I begged and dragged myself to the panel. She finally took in her surroundings and gasped. This is a small ship. Are you letting me go? No, wait, I barely got to know you again. Come with me, please. She rushed forward, but I quickly stopped her with a gesture. Please let me stay a memory, a vague, half-forgotten memory. You deserve freedom, and I can never give that to you, even if we're together. I'm going to stay here, take the blame, and hopefully divert their course far from you. I have set your ship to land you on the nearest inhabitable planet. Inhabitable? I paused and dropped my head. You'll be safe and happy far from here. You have enough oxygen in that ship to last you 1 whole month, as well as enough food and water. Be a good girl, sweetie. Live a good life. I couldn't stop shaking. I was feeling so much at once. It was hard to stop every overwhelming emotion. The room felt as if it was spinning. When she tried to step out again, I finally manually closed the doors. She started banging out on the front, wailing for me to open the doors. I could hardly hear her over my heart thudding in my ears. I finally released the escape pod and began to set the stage. I cleaned off my dagger and used an old sample to recreate her fingerprints on the blade. After, with a rubber glove on one hand, I placed precise wounds across my face, neck, and arms. I decided to make it look as if she fought me, threatened me, and escaped on her own. I took my special device out of my pockets and released every bug I'd activated. To finish it all, I threw my glove and the device away. I leaned against the wall closest to the evacuation pod and slid down while sobbing. I did it. I lost her again, just after she recognized who I was. That's how I lost everything. Damn. That was really well written.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know.
Holy angst.
The angst.
Once again, the tissue comes in handy.
that tissue. I feel like you cry at every single lore entry. Please drink water.
I do actually have a bottle of water with me.
Good.
I've had it for, like, the past hour and a half.
Good. This one is...
Wait, let me do something.
Oh?
It's time to drink water.
Of course. Thank you. Almost done with this bottle. Alright, this is from Rex. Rex talks to the moon late at night. This is gonna be heartbreaking. This is gonna be heartbreaking. Okay.
Hello, Marcelo. I'm Rex. It's nice to meet you. I heard that Freya made you into the moon. I couldn't imagine being so high up in the sky like that. Do you get dizzy? Doesn't it get lonely? I'm lonely. I shouldn't be. I'm surrounded by people all the time now. It's what I've always wanted, after all. A bunch of friends and smiles and laughing. But I'm still scared. I mean, of course I'm scared. I'm an Ursot, not a human, no matter how much I pretend to be. I don't breathe air, I don't know what a credit card is. I force myself to walk on 2 legs despite on how top-heavy I am all the time. I don't know what anyone's saying all the time. I just say, yes, I would love that, and they laugh, so I assume that's good. Onyx and Eros taught me English curse words. I know what cursing is. Sometimes Vern would do it around me all the time. Only when I was around. I don't really like cursing. I usually only do it when I'm scared, but it makes them happy, so I'll keep pretending I don't get it. I do a lot of pretending these days. A lot of lying. They're all gonna get mad when they find out. They're probably going to kill me. And I know what you're thinking, Rex, if you're scared of being found out, why don't you lie better? I don't like to lie. I'm not good at it. I'm doing the best I can with this voice, and it's not enough. I've never heard Elias speak in any other tone than happy, so I'm stuck being chipper and friendly. Not that I don't want to be friendly. I do, I really do. I want friends. I need friends. I don't want to be alone again. I can't be alone again. I can't. I know you can't hear me. You're dead. You're not actually the moon. But I don't have anybody else. So I'll pretend. It's what I do. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, Rex.
Oh, Rex.
Don't worry, Rex just had his first therapy session with Caitlin.
Good dude. Oh, I'm stuck being chipper and happy, dude.
I know. That's,
Oh my god.
Rex. Can Rex talk to? Can I throw Croy and Kron at Rex, please? I wanna help.
Can I adopt Rex?
Everyone just wants to adopt Rex at this point.
Yes. We all love Rex.
I hate to break it to you, but Marcelo would teach Rex new curse words.
Good. Oh, dude.
Well, from Bob. As he hammers in the final nail, Robert sighs before stepping back to look at what he created. The Velvet Spoon, he called it. His first ever restaurant. He was slightly nervous, worried that despite his years of acquiring skills and recipes, people wouldn't try his food. He put his worries aside as he got behind the bar to wait for his first patron. And I believe there is a Lorem post if anyone is interested in having their character go to the bar and speak to Robert. Freya's going to. Rex says yes to all of the above. We should have Rex and Freya go to the Freya can introduce Rex to hot chocolate with marshmallows. The best thing ever. Alright, from Arrow. After calming down, Arrow switched back. Now he needs to find a new victim to give a debt.
I gotta get more food in here. Everything's freaking empty. Did you just open my door? Is that your idea of knocking?
I don't know how to fucking knock. What do you want me to do?
I get you're a stone person and you have no manners, but like... Did you have to break the hinges too? It was locked.
Hi, Arrows.
Get in.
Oh my god.
What you want?
You left a book in my, like, basement.
Oh. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, I got something for you.
Huh?
Because you've been complaining a bunch. A whole lot.
What have I been complaining about?
Just get over here.
Huh?
Yeah, no, just this way.
Okay.
Down here.
That's not creepy at all.
Nope. Yep. Ain't it nice?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is gonna be my place of residence. I know.
Huh.
It's beautiful. It's so homey.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to show you this first off, because you're going to be able to see it a lot these coming few days.
Huh?
Though it is not hidden, I don't want a lot of people knowing about this place. So say something and I will find a way to grab a crowbar to your neck, yeah?
Yeah. Won't say a word.
Cool. You're my friend. I can tell you secrets, no?
Yeah.
Yep, so all the way down here. This is my throne. You cannot sit on it, so you just sit down right there. But, yep. Lovely, comfy throne.
You have a throne?
Yep. Alright, now's the point where you ask me why.
Why do you... What's all this for? Why do you have a throne?
Because I am king. Duh.
Huh?
What is a king without a throne?
What do you mean
Obviously.
you're a king?
I gotta explain it to you too, don't I? Alright. King, my place. My place, Pandemonium. Different planet, yeah? You got that.
Yeah.
There was a king. King wasn't good. Overpopulated planet. So King was like, let's use this money for something else. People died on streets. People don't like people. You know how it is. So I was like, let me just get rid of the source of the problem. Because that would do a lot of people good, huh? Nah, that wasn't my mindset. I was more like, I'm bored. I'm gonna do this. So I went over there. Shot him in the head. It was great. I did that. King eat king. I'm king.
got my throne, got my crown, and then I left. Because people disappeared. So now I'm here. And I miss being king. I can't be king here. I don't want to be king here. But I miss it. This reminds me of home. So I like it here. Simple, right?
Oh.
Simple.
Yeah.
Very simple. And you can see why I don't want people knowing about it either, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. People already don't like me. What do you think they're gonna think about this?
They're gonna be a lot worse.
Exactly. You don't want to be the reason why I killed, do you?
Of course not.
Yeah. You're my friend. You know how to tell things. White lies. Little white lies.
Yeah.
Cool. Pat shoulder. Come here. So yeah. Nice place.
Yeah. It's really pretty. The candles are lovely.
Thank you. I stole them from this one guy in the market.
Huh?
What? Anyways, so you were complaining about having a roommate the other day.
Yeah.
No privacy, stuff like that.
The secret room I had, he found it and left it open.
Ugh.
And someone else came in and found it.
Yeah,
So
that's why you don't have roommates.
it's not like I asked him to come live with me. Just showed up.
That's fair. How do you even show up?
I don't know. He just kind of came out of a forest. Just kind of came into my house. And he's from my planet, I mean, but I don't know. Kind of feel bad for the guy.
How did you get to Solus?
I don't want to talk about it.
Were they also there?
I don't believe so.
Well, you're gonna tell me at some point, so that's alright. But yeah, you got no privacy. I'm over here, secluded. You know how it is. Nothing here.
Yeah.
So, why don't I make you this one-in-a-lifetime deal?
Yeah, sure.
In return for using some of my area, some of my place, where no one comes to, and not a lot of people know about, I want something from you.
Yeah, sure. What would you be wanting?
A favor. It's simple. Not complicated. I just want a favor.
Alright.
Just a small little favor. You do something for me in the future.
Yeah, okay.
No
Sounds
complaints?
good to me.
Really?
Why would I be complaining? A friend allowing me to, share a bit of their space with them and, me eventually helping them out, that doesn't really sound like something I would argue against.
Sure. Yep. Why don't I show you what I'm talking about, huh? Come here. Yep. Just keep on coming over here. There is something behind the stairs. Never go there. Okay?
Alright.
Down here, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But under these stairs, if I see you down there, it won't be the crowbar to your neck. It'll be far worse.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. So yeah, just keep coming up here. So yeah, just come up over here. This area.
It's it's really pretty in here.
Yep. It's not my style, but I do have ideas for it, and it will be really easy to make secret rooms out of.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Over there, probably, maybe the floor, probably easier. But yeah. I will build you a door. You will build your wall. Or walls. And I will make this room look nice. And you can use the door that I make you to do whatever the fuck you want. I really don't care.
Okay.
But yeah, telling people about this place will also ruin you, because you're gonna have your shit here too.
I mean, there's not anything I would gain from telling anyone about this place.
Exactly.
I don't see what the point of it would be.
Exactly. I also don't want your friends here either, so...
My friends?
Yeah, the people you're living with. Whoever you're living
There's one person I'm living with, and he tries to follow me around as much as possible. But, I mean, he doesn't follow me over here. He seems a bit iffy about talking to you.
I wonder why. Yeah. If they don't follow you, yeah, that's fine. Just make sure no one else either following you. Can't show this place. Yeah, just don't go behind the stairs, don't tell about people. And then owe me that favor. Those are the only rules.
Works for me.
Yeah. Alright. Why don't you go back?
Huh?
Why don't we go back?
Okay. Like, back upstairs, or up?
What, do you want to stay in the dark, damp cave?
I don't know. I mean, whatever you want to do is good
Let's
with me.
go back up. You haven't watched the bloopers yet. Time to watch more Office.
I thought that was gonna cut into like bloopers of the video. That would've been funny. Alright. Ooh, light. Did you want to read this, Light?
Yeah.
Alright.
Quick reminder to turn your camera back
Thank
on.
you.
Oh shit, I actually was a little too stiff. Fuck.
Your ellipsis is so pretty.
Like, would you want me to do the Croy lines in this? Because I know there's a couple.
Yes, please.
All right, I can do it.
Oh, now this. July 2nd, 2498. 1:18 a.m. Recording. Damn it, my tablet had recorded my fit of anger earlier. Just my luck. I shouldn't be surprised. Pretty sure that bit of magic setup hack caused the plant growth in that part of the forest to accelerate. Whoops. If that'll probably find it, well, I kind of don't want to explain what happened to them. I'm still paying the price anyways. It's been hours and my nose is still bleeding. The flow is slowing, so it should be stopping soon. Hopefully. I hate this planet. Trico had another emergency meeting today. We found another spire, this time in a god's-forsaken volcano. At least it was warmer than the previous spire. This entity is messing with us. I know it is. This whole chase, it feels pointless. At least to me. I had to explain my encounter with that fiend again. This time to so many more people. I hate being stared at, especially with large crowds. I've been trained to never show it, but I am painfully shy when it comes to people I am unfamiliar with. I'm stalling. I need to explain why I was so angry earlier. After the Triggles meeting and after the monthly kindergarten reading, I saw Zephyr. We didn't fight, but I did glare the bastard down. I need to talk to Papa Croy later. He needs to know about him. Well, after all that, I had returned to wait for Atlas. He had wanted me to look at his back. Apparently it had been causing him pain. Likely phantom pain, from what I know now. I had examined the scars and gave Atlas some medicine to help with the pain. And I noticed something. A spirit that looked like Atlas, just without his mask and clearly traumatized. Shit. Light, is everything okay? I heard something break. Yeah, everything's fine. I can repair it, don't worry. Okay. Remember to mind your magic, please. I will. I'm sorry for worrying you. Gods. Where was I? Oh, right. The spirit. He was staring at me when he saw that I was looking at him. He looked shocked by the fact that I could see him. I lied to Alice when I told him that he had a spirit. I had told him that the spirit was a butterfly. That's when the spirit spoke up. He said, "He's not me." A bit after that, the spirit started to shout. I didn't really pick up much from the yelling due to how my hearing is. The yelling just made my ears ring. It gave me a headache. However, the word mask was repeated over and over again. Atlas had mentioned that he often had headaches. I made up an excuse about how the mask could be causing the headaches. He bought it, thank the gods he did, and tried to take off his mask. Only, it didn't come off all the way. He couldn't get the mask off. So I investigated, and there were needles. There were needles attached to the mask and embedded into Atlas's face. They were the length of a butterfly needle with hooks at the end. This time, I told Atlas the truth of what I saw. At first he was in denial. He kept saying that the Luminous Order would never hurt anyone, that they were to help people. I had to explain. I'll be right back.
Should I continue? perhaps?
I'd say so, yeah.
Alright.
No, it's good. My mom just wanted to ask the question. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No worries.
I had to explain that putting a mask that embeds needles into a person's face isn't helping a person. That it's hurting them. That seemed to work on him. He allowed me to cut the needles so he could take the mask off. I felt the shift in souls immediately. As soon as the mask was off, he was no longer Atlas. He was no longer the Atlas I knew. He was his true self. He told me of the Empire, the demon that poses as the god of the Luminous Order, and the plans to invade Solus. Hence why I was angry earlier. It's just one thing after another. He doesn't remember his true name yet. I suspect that it will take some time for him to regain his memories. But now, he will continue going by Atlas. Atlas is staying in Etheria now. I took out what remained of the needles and healed the wounds. And sent him to rest for fresh food for the rest of the day. I'll check on him later on today. He needs all the rest he can get. I'll be working on making him new clothes. I doubt he wishes to remain in the clothes that were given to him by the people who had hurt him so much. The poor Dragonette. As for the mask, it's in my possession still. Atlas, the Frostma one, remains within the mask. I have the blasted thing sealed in a protective dome on my desk, anchored by a circle of chalk and a drop of blood. I can get him to speak to me. I will get answers. I do not care if he will willingly give them to me or not. He has a liar's debt. It's time he pays that up. Audio N. Reason, Queen Yukima ended the recording. Chains, use the designation Light. Reason, the person who once held that name is dead. Command received. Refer to user as Light. June 4th, 2498, 3:38 p.m. Recording. I just woke up. I have a headache from all the crying I did yesterday. I'm going to have to apologize to Arrows for my behavior yesterday. I took out my frustrations on them. I didn't mean to, but knowing that they had made a deal with Alice to get a spy in the Silpak Navy, it made me angry. I'm tired. I'm going to go. I need to check on Orion. Audio N. Reason, medical reasons. Alerting user Lucky. User Light is sick. June 5th, 2498. 12:41 p.m. Recording. Light, stop. You can't go to the meeting. You're sick. Someone has to tell the others about the Luminous Order, Lucky. I can't just lay here and do nothing. Forcing yourself out of bed when you're still sick will help no one. Light, please.
Light, Lucky is right.
But
I will tell the people about the Luminous Order, Light. You need to rest.
You'll get yelled at again. They'll blame you for not saying anything sooner when that should be my fault to explain. Papa, I can't put that on you.
I will be all right, my dear. You need to rest and heal. I will see you after the meeting.
Papa, Recording end. Reason no one spoke. June 7th, 2498. 1:09 in the morning. 1:09 p.m. Recording. I'm recording this quickly. I just came home from the market. I'm feeling a bit better, enough to get supplies at least. Then I heard someone call for a medic. I, of course, went to help. The lady who was injured with some sort of tree potion. She had been shot. God, it looks awful. But it seems to not be as bad as it would have been. She's been tended by the slow-packed Navy doctors. I'll come back tomorrow to ask questions. I'm going to look for the shooter. Recording end. Reason, use the light ended recording. June 11th, 2498. 1 a.m. Recording. We guessed wrong. Cabin 4 didn't have waters. I want my dad back. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Recording end. Reason, use the light ended the recording.
You get a lot of, like, behind the scenes of what happened before, you know, the faction meeting where Croy got yelled at.
Yeah.
Poor Light. You know what? I need to write a note down.
Oh no.
Oh,
It's nothing
now I'm
bad.
scared. I'm so scared. I'm gonna go. I have to leave soon.
All right. Thank
Have a
you.
good rest of your stream.
Thank you.
Hey.
Okay. I had several notes to write. I have a lot of stuff to work on. Aftermath of Cabin 4 Doc. Enough for now. Did you want to read this, CJ?
Yeah, I can read that. All right. The crunch of footsteps approaching. The ghost, previously crouched near the beside his barely awake son, rose to his feet with his fingers curled around the handle of his hammer. But when the familiar, colorful hair of his daughter came into view from through the dark density of the woods, her partner following close beside her, his shoulders relaxed from their previous.
Uh-oh.
Croy stepped
Cutting
toward
out really bad.
his weapon to the void of his chest. Hold on. Let me fix my mic.
I think it's internet. It sounds like, might be an internet thing.
Is this better?
Just keep reading and I'll tell you if it's still bad.
Okay. Roy stepped towards him, returning his weapon to the void of his eyes searched behind them for a brief moment. The fated question lingering in the air. The expression
Okay, yeah, it's
on
still really bad.
face that he
It's like
quickly
every
noticed
other
gave him his
word.
answer before the words could be spoken. Okay, I'll probably leave the call. If you want to continue while I sort this out, you can.
Yeah,
I'll leave
I'll
the
just
call
keep
and
reading.
rejoin real quick.
Okay.
Right.
His ears lowered, his face shifting in expression. Light didn't meet his gaze, even as Lucky placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. An attempt at reassurance or maybe encouragement. Zinnia's quick steps brought her past Croy and to Light's other side, the ghost watching her look back just as the ghost had done, a bit more hope in her searching attention. She went up on her toes and moved her body like a meerkat would when looking for danger. It wasn't him. A tremble followed the dragon's voice, quiet yet filled the air with a heavy weight. Croy's gaze turned downwards, his hand reaching for one of her clenched ones, worried that her claws would break her skin and make her bleed with how tightly her fists were curled. It was a human, someone who had just settled into the cabin. He didn't have any weapons or anything. Zinnia's hopeful expression fell, sinking back down while turning her head to her sister. Both of their expressions broke Croy's a little. Their previous determination dissipated, as if they were disappointed in themselves. His hands took Light's into a gentle but firm grip, his body shrinking down to a crouch so that he could see her face. It's okay, honey. Hey, look at me. His thumbs gently brushed over the backs of her hands, his head dipping a little lower with a minor tilt. Her gaze wasn't completely on him, her mind seeming to be elsewhere, wandering in a field of what-ifs. We gave it a try and we were wrong. That is not the worst thing. It gives us another chance that Waters is out there. It gives us another chance to keep going. He turned his head to Zinnia, offering as much of an encouraging smile as he was able to show. The girl faced him with a small smile of her own, adjusting her hoodie before leaning over to her sister. Her arms wrapped around her shoulders in a squeeze hug, but made sure that it wasn't too tight. Yeah, there are 5 other cabins. We can try again. Of course we can. The ghost agreed, watching Light lean into Zinnia's hug and move one of her hands to hold Lucky's. Her eyes shook and stretched from the previous pinned back stationary, and finally the smile Croy was waiting for spread across her face. Small, a little uncertain, but there. Croy rose up from his crouch, his hand moving from Light's hand to her cheek. There's my girl. He pressed a gentle peck on her forehead before taking a step back, his hands going to his hips. He framed a determined stance as he moved to scoop up Kron's satchel, putting it over his shoulder. Now, how about we start packing up and heading home, Rex, Orion, can you help me with gathering things and putting out the fire, please? The two moved without hesitation, but with varying energies. Rex, previously curled up in a 5-foot-deep hole, popped up with his usual grin spread wider at the thought of assisting. Okay! I almost said that like Mickey Mouse, I'm sorry. Okay! He scrambled up out of the hole, shaking off the dirt from his clothes and skin before getting to work, gathering up the things he had previously helped place down. Orion, on the other hand, moved with a bit more of a mechanical grace, sparing only a nod of understanding at Croy's ask. He started folding up some of the sleeping bags that were laid out easily, tucking them into the rucksack they had been carried in. Okay, my question. How does Rex dig holes so quickly and still look human? Did he just go with his hands? Rex, who had been balling up the other sleeping bags, noticed what Orion was doing and quickly changed tactics, copying him flawlessly. Croy used flows of tar from his chest to put the fire out safely and to gather any remaining equipment while keeping a steady stream of conversation with the others, checking on Light, Lucky, and Zinnia every now and again, who were sitting together on a log. Like a dog? Rex is secretly Mickey Mouse, confirmed by Fran. Oh no. Finally, once everyone was ready to start tracking down the path back home, Croy scooped up his sleeping son with his tar, the creature hooking their arms and legs around their father as they were placed on his back. It took a bit of shifting and gibberish mumbles before they were comfortably settled, but once they completely fell into slumber. It made Croy laugh fondly. Kron really needed it. Traveling for a good few days straight would take the energy out of anyone. When no one looks, Rex extends the claws in his hands at Dick's wrist. That would be so funny for, like... It'd be so funny for Freya to see that, because she'd be like, did Marcelo have claws and he never showed me? She'd start asking everyone, like, do you secretly have claws that you use to dig things? And they'd be like, what are you talking about?
Marcelo is a cat, confirmed.
True. Do you want me to keep reading or do you want to go for it now, CJ?
I can try if my mic is better now.
It seems much better.
Okay, yeah, it kind of just shits itself after a bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let me find where we are.
I'm on page 4. Footsteps.
Mm-hmm. Footsteps trotted through grass, gravel, and stone as they traveled onwards beneath treetops and the stars. A cold breeze floated in place around them, summer nights that were a relief for some compared to the heat of recent days. Roy missed feeling the temperatures and winds that changed every day. He remembered standing out in the rain when he was alive in Era 5, not caring that his only clothes would be soaked or that the fur of his hooves would take forever to dry. He turned his head up towards the sky, counting the stars and pinpointing the slightness of the colors. They still shone so bright, despite the superior light of the moon. The fur of Kron's hood phased through his neck a little before the ghost refocused his energy. The last thing he wanted was for Kron to phase through his hands and fall. He twitched his head to face behind him as he picked up an excited gasp. His ears perked in curiosity before a fond smile spread wider across his face. He watched as Zinnia and Light told Orion and Rex all about Waters, the peacekeepers, his work, events he was involved in. If Rex's eyes got any wider, they'd pop out of his head. Admittedly, Croy had only met the man 2 or 3 times, and they weren't during the best moments. Other than that, he just happened to be in the same room as him, along with many others. How his 2 girls spoke about him like a mythical legend made him think. His eyes drifted back to the way they had come, but his mind drifted far further back. Back to the things Light had told him, the things he heard when he made himself visible to Elia from before saving Waters, from during the rescue mission, from their first encounter, the Wave Seeker. His chest curled in on itself slightly before quickly releasing. Knowing these random puzzle pieces of this man's life that he couldn't fit together, it felt wrong, even if most of those pieces weren't his choice to know. His strides returned to their original pace. He pulled his head to face onwards. Once Waters is found, maybe he can talk to him more. Become on good terms. It makes sense. Light was a daughter to both of them, after all. Finally, the crossroads of where the group would need to split up came beneath their feet. Croy bid goodbye to Orion and Lucky, giving a quick hug to Zinnia and Light, while Kron gave a half-effort wave to them While Kron gave a half-effort wave to them all over his father's shoulder. "Goodbye, friends!" Rex yelled with a big enthusiastic wave that was almost violent before he spun on his heel and sprinted for the main area, a chorus of goodbyes following him as everyone went their separate ways. Corey adjusted his grip on Kron, freeing one of his hands to cup the side of his mouth. "Do not forget to contact me on your comms when you all get home to make sure you all are safe." A soft sigh left his chest as he listened to the various responses echoed back to him. His hand returned to hook beneath Kron's knees, hooshing them up further onto his back. He nuzzled his head a little against the side of Kron's, elicting a sleepy groan. He chuckled softly before he tracked forward off the paths, following the ocean edge once he came to it to find Kindlegrim. They could try again another day. And then these are the comm device messages from when they all got home. "Lucky, Zinnia, and I have made it to our homes. We're going to get something to eat, then take a nap. Orion should be reaching his home in Etheria soon. I had walked him most of the way there before going home." Rex: "I am also in my home that I built now. I found a pretty flower on the way, look." Zinnia: "Oh, pretty. Also, like Light said, I'm home." Orion: "Home now also." Rex replying to Zinnia's message: "Yes." And Lucky: "Yeah, we're home. Sorry for the late response, I got distracted." And Croy: "Thank you all. Myself and Kron are also home. They are fast asleep. Contact me if any of you need me."
I love that they have a group chat. I need more group chats.
I will keep that in mind.
Alright, we have Truffle lore. Is Truffle still here?
Yep.
They said my mic might be broken.
Maybe, because we cannot hear you.
Hello? Test? Hello?
Oh my god.
Jeez. I'm so sorry. I started panicking because this is the only headset I have. And I know it isn't on this. I accidentally hit the mute button somehow. I am so sorry. Headphones users. Headphone users, I'm sorry.
Oh god, that was so loud.
I'm so sorry.
Someone please clip that.
I'll go ahead and start reading.
Okay.
July 14th, 12,498. Okay, there. I finally saved up enough to buy myself a journal. It turns out that a random old stall on the top of a mountain with a sign that just says, locally grown wheat for sale, doesn't make you too much money. So what if I've been stealing from people when I actually leave my house? I probably need it more than them. That's probably enough of how broke I am, considering how much stuff has happened that I need to document. Most of this is coming from recent faction meetings I've been going to. Even though I want so strongly to isolate myself, I still need to stay informed. I'm not dumb. I'm far away from any kind of civilization, alone on a mountain without even any kind of animal to protect me. I know that makes me a target. If there's any kind of threat going around, I need to know who they are, who they've been targeting, what they look like, and what they've been doing. I guess a fair place to start would be the reason why I'm here and not at my tent in Joker's Corner. A spacecraft crashed into Solus. I'm not sure on specifics. I was focusing on building my life back up from absolute zero during those first 1 or 2 weeks. From what I heard, it was called the Cabo, and that's all I know. I can't help but feel a bit guilty. Maybe if I didn't say what I did to Freya, maybe if I didn't drive her away, she could have prevented this. Prevented all those deaths. Speaking of, she's returned. I think the first time I saw her was at a faction meeting, and all I could think of was the sound of light bulbs shattering. Still, it would be childish of me to leave, so I stayed. I'm not even sure what was discussed at that specific meeting. The past few weeks have been blurring together. The best I can do is take it one step at a time. I'll start with the more mundane information. The Soul-Packed Navy is offering a ton of resources for everyone on Solus. Hell, they're even offering pre-built houses for people. I would love to take one. My little shack isn't exactly the best looking or even very functional, but considering what I've done, I don't think I deserve it. Someone else could probably make more use of it. They could have friends over, have a family, use it for a home-based business. I know I wouldn't do any of those things. Guilt aside, I have bigger things to worry about. For example, the person that is apparently possessed by a demon. One day, this person, Trigal, called an emergency meeting. Of course, I go. Emergency meetings basically always means that there is a threat out there, and I'm not going to risk my life just because I was too lazy to leave the house. I arrived a bit late and didn't exactly understand what was going on. We entered some kind of cave, and it was a hellscape. Fire and lava and magma was everywhere. I was told that I could leave, but it wasn't like it was a massive group, and I didn't want to abandon everyone. So I stuck around. Within that cave, there were runes. They apparently spelled something out that somehow led us to a literal volcano. I can't remember much beyond that. I was exhausted, hungry, and probably dehydrated. Light spoke up. Apparently this demon can take the form of loved dead ones, and that terrifies me. There's someone who I was so very close to, but we were eventually separated before the great anomaly. I have no clue if he's alive or not. If I have to find out through some evil spirit, I think it would break me. I don't think I want to involve myself with all of that anymore. And I guess I saved the most worrying for last. It seems there's a new cult around, the Luminous Order. They invited people to join them in one faction meeting, only for Croy to reveal the awful things they've done in the next. Something about masks and mind control. It was all very confusing, but at least I now know who to be suspicious of. Okay, that's all I can remember, which honestly isn't much. I'm not even sure if I want to remember more, especially of the crash. I'll try to stay on top of writing everything down, but I'm not sure if I can make any promises.
Oh, Trouble, you do deserve a house! You do! You deserve it so much!
Please give them a house. Don't be a
No!
homeless person.
I would like to clear this up. They're not homeless. They just have a very poorly built house.
Oh my god. If Croy meets Truffle again, he's gonna let them live in Kindlegrim until they get a proper house. Croy already has a friend whose watchtower legs are disintegrating.
Hey, Mom.
Oh god.
In a moment. I will say I am opening up interactions after the stream.
Let's go. Freya and Truffle. Just kidding. I think that would give them a heart attack. I don't know if Trigal is still here. I kind of want Freya to come to the next, if there is an emergency meeting thing about the spires. I want Freya to be there. She would have heard of it by now. She'd be like, I'm going to solve this because I'm back and I'm gonna be better and I'm gonna fix things. See how that goes. Aelin wants to help search for one of Akarani's cabins, but she ends up finding something else instead. Interesting. 7/7/2498. Aelin peers around the corner of the marketplace, watching as Light and the others converse with a tall, beautiful person made of trees. So incredibly fascinating. That one. If it were up to Aelin, she'd already be taking notes, testing every ball joint and peeling away layers of bark until she found something underneath. Morbid? Sure. But who would blame her for being curious? This right here, word for word, is Yelena Tanikta. For those who know. Testing every ball joint, peeling away layers of bark. Just kidding. Serial killer behavior. Yeah, what is your problem, Adolin? Akarani was her name. Adolin recalls as Lucky asks her questions. She explains what happened, albeit quite vaguely. Something about being shot, something about a cabin, something about waters. It's been so long since the two of them have met face to face. Adolin had almost forgotten about him, the first person she encountered on Solace, and of course, he was already afraid of her. Could she blame him? After all, what crime is there in being well read? Not that it really matters now. He's been missing for months and months. And then, suddenly, Adolin has an idea. What if she finds him? What if she's the one to save the day? How hard could it be? She's got the ease of travel, the bird's eye view, and even the power to back herself up. Ada chuckles at the idea of being shot by a humanoid firearm. If she can find him, then Akarani will be happy, Waters will be safe, everyone will understand that Adolin can be trusted, and then she'll be loved again. Easy as cake, as Cam would say. Maybe even Light will. A frown finds its way onto her face. Light really cares about Waters, doesn't she? It's a horrible thing to be torn away from those you call family. Ada knows the feeling all too well. Light is too kind for this world, Adolin thinks. So deeply caring, her heart bleeds for anything alive. Kindness pours out of her like blood gushing from a fatal wound, and Adolin is sure it will be the death of her. Doesn't that make her so wonderful, though? A kindness so badly needed in the world they all live in. Ada watches in real time as that kindness bleeds out and drips down Akarani's pale, peeling body. Their expression is fixed, but something about the way they shift in place, the way their eyes crinkle, it tells a story. Light's fingers pass over Akarani's body, a healing aura passing over her scrapes and wounds. A twinge of jealousy forms in Adolin's chest, and as Light and her companions ready themselves for the hunt, Ada rounds the corner and approaches Akarani once more. Akarani notices her before she can speak, tilting her head. Their head. You again. How did you know it was me? Adolin asks, circling Akarani, observing them. Your footsteps are lighter, the tree person provides. Paws are quieter than shoes. Adolin giggles. You can hear my paw pads, I gather. Fascinating. Such a heightened sense of hearing, much like when a mortal loses their sight. I'm guessing you were created without sight, however? They're quiet for a moment. Why did you come back? With a sigh, Adolin finds a seat next to Akarani, resting her hands in her lap. I didn't want to bother you any further. My curiosity tends to get the better of me. Akarani nods. Their expression doesn't change, but they seem to be pondering something. You and Light seem to have a complicated relationship. Well, Adolin stumbles over her words. I would not say it's complicated. I do like Light quite a bit. It's just that, well, she draws in a deep breath. I think that Light doesn't like me very much. They seem tired of me more than anything. We were co-workers once before the hospital was destroyed. Light was good at her job, better than me in many ways, kinder and more... Aelin clears her throat. Well, they have much more experience than I do. Light would often scold me for my attitude towards medicine, more curious, more experimental. She just doesn't understand. Of course I treat every patient with the utmost care and professionalism. Of course I'm trying to save everyone I can. But what is the point of medicine if it never evolves? What is the point of a doctor that doesn't try to go above and beyond? Aelin steels herself, drawing in deep breaths. Apologies. I don't mean to overshare. I just wish that Light could see our shared goals rather than be blinded by our differences. Sounds like you two have a lot to talk about. Ah, right. I did not come back in order to slander Light. Rather, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Aelin rises, placing her hands on her hips. Her expression is full of determination. I heard that you need help searching for something. Yes? As it turns out, Aelin is not good at finding things. To rephrase, Aelin is not good at finding things without the aid of her magic. Finding people? Sure. She can search for a soul's energy signature. Looking for magical artifacts? She could sniff out the scent of magic from miles away. But looking for a hidden cabin in the woods while the air is still filled with ash and smog? It's harder than she thought it would be. Okay. Frustration continues to grow as Aelin is forced to land, wincing as her paws step over broken twigs and various sharp things strewn around. Whether it's debris or plant life attacking her, she can't tell, not with the blossoming headache that this venture was giving her. Nothing had been going according to plan for her. Firstly, she was going to recruit Cam to help her search, but of course, Mira got to him first. Then she was going to use one of the various scanner device thingies that Cam had lying around, but of course, technology always gets the best of her. Mikal was too afraid, Rex was already off with his many new friends. Aelin was all alone, naturally. But that's fine, she thought. She can do this herself, she thought. Turns out it's really, really difficult when your eyes are constantly watering in the air and your paws are being cut up on the ground. What in the gods' names was she supposed to do here? After hours of fruitlessly searching, and ending up going in circles because she just had to forget a compass and was too stubborn to go back, Aelin finds herself slumped against a large oak tree, exhaustion starting to set in. The sun was already going down, filling the sky with orange and purple hues. What little color trickled in past the smog would be beautiful. Trickled in past the smog would be beautiful, if not for the current circumstances making Ada too annoyed to appreciate it. What was she even doing here, she wondered silently. What was she trying to prove? That she can solve a scavenger hunt? How was this, quite frankly, stupid endeavor going to prove to other people that she can be trusted? That she can trust others? It's all pointless. Aelin wants to go home. She wants to lay down in the grass without being prodded by thorns. She wants to sink into the moss and be absorbed and just... No, she can't think like that. She can't be defeated by this child's play. Aelin springs up to her feet. There's a little more sunlight left in the day, so she may as well take advantage of it. Birds fly away as she takes flight and weaves between the trees, scanning for any signs of life. An empty campfire, a pathway, a trail of footprints. Just barely outside of the forest, she skids to a stop, kicking up soil beneath her. Leading into the trees was a small trail of prints. They almost looked like deer tracks, but too large and further apart. Cautiously, Aelin leans down and sniffs. Not deer, but what was that scent? It's almost familiar. She follows the tracks back into the forest, noting burnt pieces of something all around her. The trail leads deep into the woods, tracing large trees adorned with scrapes. Maybe whatever or whoever made these tracks was leaning against them? As the trail continues, sunlight fading away, Aelin gets the sense that this isn't what she is looking for. Then she wonders, what is this leading to? As the trail comes to an end, Aelin notices a glint, something catching the last drops of sunlight. What was that? Something metallic. Aelin runs towards the object, half buried beneath leaves and charred scraps. When she approaches this mysterious pile, she kneels down, peering inside. It's not a tool, but it is something made of metal, silver, slightly scorched and rusted. As Ada brushes away leaves, she jolts backwards as the metal thing is fully revealed. It's an arm. Even worse, it's an arm she recognizes. How could she not? She'd spent countless hours beside the owner of this appendage, working tirelessly on elixirs and surgeries and an endless amount of cleaning. Memories of the intense smell of chemical cleaner floods her brain. It's Dr. Magos's arm, detached from his body, laying in the middle of nowhere, hidden in the woods not far from the crater. Where was Magos during the impact? Aelin can only assume he was at the hospital, which means... Dread fills her body. She stumbles backwards, shaking her head in disbelief. Magos isn't dead, is he? No, he can't possibly be dead. He wouldn't leave this behind. He wouldn't leave her behind. He wouldn't... With shaking hands, Adolin reaches for the arm. Her mouth feels dry. She has to tell someone about this, but who can she? Certainly not Light. They've got enough on their plate, and Adolin can't face them right now. There has to be someone else. Someone close to Magos. Someone who knows what to do with this. Adolin gasps. Hexon 53. Hexon will know what to do. She hesitates, afraid to abandon her previous mission, but who will save Magos if she doesn't? Who knows what's even become of him? She has to do this. She has to save him. What good is she if she can't? Clutching the abandoned arm, ice cold from the lack of use, Adolin summons her will and disappears into a burst of flames. Uh-oh. And then we have two more. We have The Guest from Trigal and ELS Entry 10 from The Sandwich Man. My favorite doctor! My least favorite doctor! I need to put these in the ice chest, or to cook them. You should follow me inside. The grass won't be very comfortable in an hour. It's about to rain. The door creaked as Trigal stepped past it, and she quietly closed it behind her. Instantly, the sounds of nature became muffled, and a sort of silence settled over the cabin. The only noise came from the man carefully laying his fresh fish into the icebox. She opened her mouth to speak, then hesitated. A dozen questions ran through her mind, but it was hard to grasp onto any single idea. Trigal had obviously thought Waters might be here, that's why she came in the first place, but seeing him now in front of her stopped her right in her tracks. After a few seconds, Waters turned to face her, and she knew she had to say something. "Hello," she started. "My name is Trigal, and you're Director Waters." The man tilted his head, or jug, to the side and looked her up and down. "You're armed," he noted, gesturing to the weapon at her side. Trigal glanced down at her holster. "Oh, yeah, well, I wasn't sure what I would find here, but I can see now that I won't need it." The two stared at each other for a few moments, silently regarding one another. Trigal's head was still swarming with unanswered questions, but one of them called her attention the most. This man had clearly been through a lot, even without the volcano. He had been living on his own for weeks. Did he even know which of his friends had survived the crash? "Are you okay, Director Waters?" she asked him. He shifted, as if he hadn't been expecting that question. Or maybe he just wasn't used to speaking with people after so long. She couldn't tell. It was hard to read him with the tank on his head. Whatever the case, he nodded. "I'm all right, thank you." Trigal nodded back. "A lot of people are looking for you, you know." The room got quiet again, and Waters looked down a bit. Let's discuss this later. I'm sure it's been a long day for you. You should rest. Please, take the bed." "Oh, no, I couldn't possibly," she protested, but her body betrayed her and a yawn escaped from Trigal. Waters stepped to the side and gestured to the bed. "Please, I insist. You're my guest here. Besides, I won't be using it tonight." Trigal looked at the mattress, then back at the man. She hadn't registered just how tired she felt, but it suddenly hit her like a freight train. She hesitated, then nodded. Well, okay. Thank you, sir." He returned the nod. "Get some rest. Tomorrow we can discuss more." "Are you sure?" she asked. "They're all devastated at the idea of you being hurt or alone. I've seen them looking around. Light, Zinnia, Lucky. Literally all they've been doing is talking about you. There are entire search parties." "I'm sorry," he told her, "but my mind is made up. I'm working through some things, and for the time being they're safer away from me. I only ask that you don't tell anybody where you found me." Trigal nodded. "I understand, but you should know more people will find this cabin. If you wish to stay hidden, it's only a matter of time before they find you here." "Understood. Thank you, Trigal." She smiled softly. "Thank you again for the supplies. Good luck, Mr. Waters." She turned and started out the door, but paused at the threshold. If you really don't want to be near all of them, and you don't want to be found in this cabin, there's another thing you could do." He cocked his head to the side. "Oh?" Trigal let go of the doorknob and turned to face him. "I have a ship. A spaceship. I'm not using it, but it's fully equipped with living quarters. You could stay there if you want. Maybe you could even check in on your folks from time to time." He stared at her, listening intently, then finally nodded. "I'll keep that in mind. Thank you." "Of course." And with that, Trigal stepped through the door and left. "Hi, Trigal. I was wondering. I don't think you were here when I asked this, but if there's another, emergency Spire meeting, I want Freya to be there. Because at this point, she's definitely heard about it. And with her whole, I'm back and I'm going to be better, I'm going to fix everything, She's going to want to be there and try to fix things, and it's probably going to go poorly. But wanted to ask permission first. I can also stay Kevin. ELS entry 10. Electronic log system entry 10 caved in. When I was constructing my lab, I was as quick as possible, and I probably skipped a lot of very important building requirements in order for a building to be safe, especially an underground building. Unfortunately, my rust job has come back to bite me way too soon. I was out mining for a few hours, and when I came back, I noticed a small portion of a room had collapsed. Gravel had flooded in from above. I somehow never noticed the huge gravel deposits near my base inside the mountain. My plan now is to get everything important I had out of the lab, mostly ores or building materials I have in my chests, and move it somewhere safe, somewhere I know I can find it. I know if anyone actually receives this message, there's going to be a pretty large chance someone's going to want to find the abandoned lab, either out of curiosity or to scavenge it. So I've attached the coordinates to the bottom of this message. Be warned that the structural integrity is probably extremely low, and a good portion of the lab may not be accessible at all, as well as the fact that the lighting system that I've made may not work if gravel is seeped into the circuitry, and if turning them on overloads the main generator. The entrance to the underground lab is located at these coordinates, within a mountain covered by terracotta. The main door is covered by andesite. If anyone actually does go there, I know that I left a few logs back there, so if you find any of those, you could return them to me, or keep them if you want. I don't think I had much important stuff in those, so I don't think it'd be the end of the world if someone kept those or fed them to a fire. I actually want to talk to you about that, but I'm animating the Spire stuff. It's taking forever. I didn't want to leave you waiting. No worries. There's no rush or anything, whatever. But I am here for anything you need. Frey's ready to eat a spire if necessary. And you know what? Even though this came in this came in 2 hours after the stream started. Okay, I'll read that next time. All right. Well, thank you to my group. Spire, like Slay the Spire. You're so right.
I'm curious, how many hours do you have?
How many hours do I have?
Yes.
314.
Oh, that's
not that much. It's not that much. I have like 600 in Apex Legends, which is why I'm trying to overtake it with Slay the Spire 2.
How long have you had Slay the Spire 2?
Since the day it came out, which was... Let me look. April, March 5.
So, in about...
I thought it was right before Marcelo died.
So, like... Wait, how long has that been? So, in about, like... 5-ish months, you've acquired 300 hours.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Not that bad.
It's not that much. I could be playing a much worse game.
True. Maybe this is just because I spend a lot of time doing craft stuff.
Now,
even though I am.
I recently started playing Warframe, and that I have 70 hours in already.
Oh dear.
In like 2 weeks. But that's because I play with Virgil.
Okay. The only reason why I have like so many hours on Stardew Valley is because I also play it with one of my friends.
Stardew Valley is a great game to have tons of hours in.
I love Stardew Valley.
We need to do a staff Stardew Valley server.
Ooh, that's a... I would definitely be up for that. The only sad thing is that I can't play Stardew Valley with it all day because she is on the exact opposite time zone to me.
Oh, that sucks.
Sad.
Very sad. Okay. Thank you two for being here for this fairly... I think this is the longest one of the season so far.
Thank. It's been going on for about 3.5 hours.
It has.
I should go get more Oreos.
Oh, I want Oreos. Maybe I can convince Virgil to pick up Oreos. The lore was ripe today.
Oreos dipped in coffee.
Ugh.
I don't like coffee, so I'll leave you to that. Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.